Hello, race fans, and welcome to the H1 Unlimited E-League Racing Series presented by Staples. My name is Brad Luce, and thanks for coming along with us today. And today is indeed something special. Today is race number 4 on the virtual racing series, and we are coming to you from the shores of Lake Washington in Seattle, where the hydroplane racing tradition spans more than 70 years. Many of the H1 Unlimited race teams call Seattle home, and over half of our E-League drivers today are home to the Pacific Northwest. Yes, winning in Seattle is something special, but it will not be easy. Through the first 3 races of the 2020 virtual season, the racing on the water has been extremely competitive, racing parity at its very best. Just how competitive has it been? Consider this. The first 3 races have produced 3 different winners, and only 2 drivers have managed to stand on the podium more than once. Eddie Canfouche in the bucket list Miss Rock broke through with a win in our last event, and he holds a 700-point lead in the national high points. Today, he looks to build on that high points lead and make it 2 in a row. It's the Home Street Bank Cup at Seafair from the south end of Lake Washington. As he has been so many times before, both at virtual and real H1 Unlimited events, my broadcast partner again today is the incomparable Mr. Jeff Ayler. Hello, Jeff, and welcome to the broadcast booth, my friend.
Brad, good afternoon. Going to be great working with you once again at the virtual Seattle Racecourse, the Home Street Bank Cup at Seafair. We've got a full field, a dozen boats, 12 entries. Our top qualifier is Cy Bowen in the Griggs Presents Miss Ace Hardware at 156.662 miles per hour. We have 6 drivers at 156 plus in qualifying, 5 drivers at 155 plus in qualifying, and 1 driver at 153. The qualifying separated by 3 miles per hour. Our points leader going into today is Eddie Canfouche in the bucket list, KISW Miss Rock, with 3,735 points. Quentin Miller in the second position in the Graham Trucking with 3,074. And Cy Bowen that we mentioned, our top qualifier, third in points with 3,028. Brad, I got a feeling this is the most competitive E-League event of the season, the 4th race. It's a driver's race. Today, you do not want to make mistakes early on. You want to be savvy. You want to be consistent. Mistakes will hurt drivers in the point standings and to make the front row of the final.
Yeah, you certainly do. And it's always, as I mentioned in the opening, it's so special to win in Seattle. It means just a little bit more to all of these guys. And even in the E-League, it is the same. You talk about our top qualifier, Cy Bowen. I mentioned at the onset when we came on the air here that only 2 drivers have actually been on the podium twice. One of those guys is Cy Bowen. He has 2 third-place finishes. He starts the weekend as our top qualifier. Maybe today, the piston-powered, the U3, Go3 Racing presents Miss Greg's Ace Hardware. Maybe this is the day the young man from Plymouth, Indiana climbs atop the podium.
It could be, and Cy is only 17 years of age. But Brad, our game creator out of San Diego, Scott Przbilski, was a little off his racing game last time out at Tri-Cities. He's second quick at 156.404. Don't count out the game creator at the virtual Seattle today.
Absolutely not. So it's going to be a great day of racing. I am very anxious to get to it. I know you are as well, Jeff Ayler. But before we get with our heat draws and so forth, we would be remiss if we did not mention that this past week, hydroplane racing lost a true icon in the sport with the passing of Pat O'Day up in the San Juan Islands. As a tribute to Pat right now, we are going to have one of our drivers, DJ Miller, take out the U96.5, the KYYX, a radio station that was owned by Pat O'Day back in the day, and a boat that was also owned by Pat O'Day. He's going to go out and take a special...
Jared. Okay.
As we see DJ Miller taking a boat out on the Ted Jones race course here, a couple of comments about Pat O'Day. He was a legendary icon of not only unlimited hydroplane racing in the Pacific Northwest, but also to the rock and roll world. Pat O'Day has been inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. But during his racing career, Pat was, as an owner, he was an innovator. He was the first to bring a female driver in the modern era to compete in an APBA Gold Cup, and he was also involved in the U-95 turbine project. But in boat racing circles, Pat was probably best known for his work on the microphone. His gravelly voice became synonymous with the roar of the piston engines of the day. Let's take a moment now as we watch DJ Miller in the KYYX take a lap around the course. We remember our friend Pat O'Day. So DJ Miller brings the boat back to the dock. Good to see the KYYX hydroplane back out on the Ted Jones racecourse. And Jeff Ayler, I know as you and I, as broadcasters on some level, we could only hope to aspire to the levels of Pat O'Day. He was an icon and to both of us, and I know we both look up to him.
A tremendous loss, and 2020 has just been a year that we all want to forget. And unfortunately, I was saddened to read about Pat's passing last week. And he was an icon in Seattle, Brad, and he would want to continue on and keep boat racing alive on Lake Washington. Not only was he known for his music history, Brad, but he loved hydroplane racing. Pat O'Day, Guy Lombardo, music and hydroplanes, it was in their blood.
And I had the good fortune to get to know Pat a little bit over the last few years. And I'll tell you one thing that I know Pat is saying right now. He's going, come on, guys, get on with the boat race. So for you, Patrick, that's what we're going to do. We're going to get on with the 2020 virtual Home Street Bank Cup at Seafair. Before we get to our heat draws, as we always do, want to take a moment here and thank some of our sponsors. As we all know, this event today and boat racing in general does not occur without our sponsors, and we are so grateful to have them. Our number one sponsor of the E-League Racing Series is Staples. Staples Office Supplies, it's your one-stop shop for all your home office needs, specifically the locations on the east side of the state of Washington in Spokane and Moses Lake, and on the west side up I-5 in Linwood. Also like to thank the fine folks at the Angels Foster Care Community. The 3 locations in Spokane on the east side, Seattle, and then the Olympic Peninsula facility. Angels Foster Care, where they wrap community around children and families. There's a couple of people here, Jeff Ayler, they have been with us since the very, very start, and we really want to thank them. Atomic Screen Printing, Jesse's Stitches, and Woodshed Embroidery. 3 solid names in the unlimited racing world. They've been on board with us all year. We thank them for their support as well. And we're talking about Seafair at a Seafair race today, albeit virtual, Jeff Ayler. And a little bit about Seafair. For generations, Seafair's been creating memories for people of all ages, but sponsorship and ticket sales are not enough to cover the cost of producing a multi-week festival that touches over 2 million people each year. With all Seafair events canceled in 2020, they need your support to help this iconic organization to create and continue memories and unite communities for generations to come. To make a tax-deductible donation, simply go to seafair.org and click on the gold donate button and discover the many Seafair gifts that are available as a thank you for your support, including a special collector's edition 2020 gold pin. Seafair created 50 numbered gold pins to celebrate 70 years of hydroplane racing in Seattle as a fundraiser for the festival. To help Seafair into 2021 and beyond, they need your support. Again, that is seafair.org. Thanks to Seafair, thanks to all our sponsors. Jeff, I think it's about time we get with a draw and let's go racing. Are you ready, my friend?
I'm ready.
How about we turn this over to a couple of friends of ours, Julie and Mark Hooton from Miss Madison Racing Incorporated, representing Home Street Bank and Goodman Real Estate. Julie and Mark Hooton are going to do the draws for our heats 1A and 1B. Take it away, guys.
Hey, Julie, you got a minute?
Sure. What's up?
Hey, I just got out of a meeting and I had a message from H1 that they'd like us to do the draw for the first round of heats at the H1 E-League for the Home Street Bank Cup at Seattle. You want to do that?
Sure. I was just doing some Throwback Thursday research, so I can set that aside and let's do it.
Sounds good. Do you have any ping pong balls around the house?
You know, I just happen to have the Ted Grange honorary ping pong ball basket right here.
All right. All right. Hey, everybody. Mark Hooton and Julie Hooton from the Miss Madison Racing Team, along with our marketing partners, Home Street Bank and Goodman Real Estate. And we've been asked to do the draw for the first round at Seattle. So let's start with Heat 1A. Julie, take it away.
All right. Good shape. 1A. The U6.
6. Heat 1B.
U21.
21. Heat 1A.
The U9.
9. 1B.
The U10.
10. Heat 1A.
The U7.
7. 1B.
The U99.9.
99.9. Back to Heat 1A.
The U3.
3. Heat 1B.
The U11.
U11. Heat 1A.
The U440.
440. Heat 1B.
The U12.
12. And then the last two, Heat 1A.
We have the U91.
91. Which leaves
That leaves us with the U98.
98. All right. 6 boats in each one of these heats. Julie, if you can read them back.
Sure. In Heat 1A, we have the 6, 9, 7, 3, 440, and 91. Heat 1B is the 21, 10, 99.9, 11, 12, and 98.
Fantastic. We hope everybody's enjoying these races in both the H1E League and the Drivers Invitational. Let us know how you enjoy the races. Support our sponsors, support the race sites, and we'll see you back on the water real soon.
We miss all you guys.
All right, we're ready to go racing. Jeff Ayler, a quick thank you to Julie and Mark Hooton for doing the draws for 1A and 1B. And I notice in Heat 1A, right off the top, we're going to see our top qualifier, Cy Bowen, driving that U3. Go3 Racing presents Griggs Ace Hardware. You mentioned earlier, Jeff, we have a full field of 12 boats. That means 6 in 1A, 6 in 1B. I know you like that. I know I love it. It doesn't get any better than that. And we're going to go 3 times around the Ted Jones race course in these preliminary heats. And it's all about accumulating points to get your way into that winner-take-all final.
And it's the park and start format. We'll explain that when we go into the warm-up period. You'll have to have your boat behind the exit pin of turn number 1 going down the back straightaway. You'll have to be behind that marker at the 1-minute pin to be eligible. And then, Brad, the excitement begins. They'll streak to the entrance pin at turn number 2. That's where you have to have your lane established, then hold it all the way down to the start-finish line buoy, and you hope to be there at full song, full throttle without jumping the gun.
The start is so very, very important in H1 Unlimited racing. And as we have seen in the virtual racing, it is true here as well, but also is that lane position. So you mentioned the fun begins after that 1 minute buoy, as somebody may try and leapfrog to get that all important inside lane. We're just waiting now for a countdown from our chief referee. And we are being told we are about to come up to that now. It's going to give us a countdown, Jeff Ayler, to the 5 minute and 5 second mark because of the configuration of the pit area. And we are 3 seconds. Oh, we had a count going and we just stopped it. We'll get it back up here again. We're just about ready to go. But 5:05, fans, set your clock to 5:05. Jeff, I know you got it. I got it here too. All right, we're inside 5 seconds. We are 2 seconds, 1 mark. 5 minutes and 5 seconds to the start of Heat 1A of the 2020 Virtual Home Street Bank Cup at Seafair. Good to see the boats out on Lake Washington, Jeff Ayler. This is a sight that those of us who were born and raised in the Pacific Northwest look forward to all summer and all winter long. As David Williams of the Hydroplane and Raceboat Museum likes to say, it's a lot like Christmas morning, and there's a good shot right there. 6 H1 Unlimited hydroplanes coming away from the Stansair Memorial Pit area.
Great view. Will ID the boats and drivers here for you in the virtual Unlimited 1A. We go on board the Goodman Real Estate, the U91. Tim Johnson, chauffeurs out of Richland, Washington, 23 years of age. Tim was 4th quick in qualifying, 156.287 miles per hour. On board the Botano Homes, the U7, driven by DJ Miller out of Mercer Island, Washington, 22 years of age. DJ 8th on the ladder in qualifying, 155.542. On board with Kelsey Best out of Mesa, Arizona, 33 years of age, driving the Miss Home Street. Kelsey 5th fastest in qualifying at 156.247. 4th entrant, our top qualifier, 17 years of age, out of Plymouth, Indiana, Cy Bowen in the virtual Turbinator. Griggs presents Miss Ace Hardware, 156.662 was the speed on top. Our game creator, Scott Przbilski, 34 years of age, out of San Diego, California, driving the Delta Real Track. Our game creator, his game is on. 2nd fastest qualifier, 156.404. And our 6th entrant, the Tennessee Orange, Bo Rarick, drives out of Monroe, Washington, 27 years of age, the 440, 7th quick, 155.997. Brad, 6 are in the drink, 6 are up and running. Let's get this thing going.
2 minutes and 40 seconds until the start, and here comes the park and start situation that you talked about at the top. We see 3 of our boats laying down there at the lower end of the race course. That is legal. That is part of the start procedure here on our virtual racing, and one of the big driving factors behind that, Jeff, is the fact that we can't monitor the boats to make sure they stay above 80 miles an hour, so we default back to this park and start. And the score-up buoy that you mentioned earlier, it is the exit pin to turn number 1. They cannot go past that buoy before the 1 minute mark. They establish their lanes when they get up to the top end of the race course on the Ted Jones race course up at the I-90 floating bridge turn. There you see Kelsey Best just sitting there dead in the water, but that's by design. Now here comes the rest of the field up behind him. 1 minute and 45 seconds until the start. Jeff Przbilski's going to leave them all down there and go hard through the corner. Take them to the 1 minute buoy.
Brad, real quick before the 1 minute pin, we're getting a report in our area here of a possible internet outage in Hanover, Indiana, just east of here. And from my location, if you lose me, it will be the opposite of the 2013 APBA Gold Cup when I lost you, so you'll take it away.
Sounds good, Jeff. Bring them to the 1 minute buoy. Here they go.
Coming up on the 110 mark, everybody picking up the speed. We see our top qualifier out there in the 4 lane. Kelsey Best appears to be in 1. We're 5, 4, 2, 1. mark. Everyone appears to be legal at the 1 minute mark. And now, Brad, this is where the games begin. Here's that race to that entrance pin. Clean score up. And Brad, it looks like everybody should maintain by my eye right here.
Yeah, I think the boats on the inside, and specifically Kelsey Best in the Miss Home Street, was able to defend his inside lane, and he has now passed that entrance buoy to the upper corner, and he has indeed held on to lane number 1. Lane number 2 is going to be the Spirit of, lane number 2 is going to be the Botano Homes. That's going to be DJ Miller. Then it is going to be Bo Rarig in the 440 bucket list. And as you mentioned, our top qualifier, Cy Bowen, he is going to be in lane number 4. We are coming up on 13 seconds to the start. It's a long run down to the start-finish line, Jeff. Bring them down.
Here we go for Unlimited 1A at the virtual Lake Washington course in Seattle. We're 3, 2, 1. Mark, it appears to be clean. We're racing in. Cy Bowen had a fire out in lane number 4 in the Griggs Presents Miss Ace Hardware. Clean start into the south turn. Bowen, your leader. But Best and Miller tighten it up, and we got a triple-decker off turn number 1 to begin today, Brad.
Boy, you certainly do. They are side by side by side. Pick a winner. Cy Bowen showing that top qualifying speed was not a mistake. He's got a lot of shoot speed up the backstretch, but he's also got a lot of speed off to his left. And now that inside lane position is going to pay some dividends for Kelsey Best in the Miss Home Street. He is going to get to the exit pin with about a 2 boat length lead, but he's got a lot of red in his right side rear view mirror. Remember, we go 3 times around the Ted Jones race course in our preliminary heats. Put one in the book, Jeff, and look at Cy Bowen.
Outstanding dueling began today, and a beautiful shot from the 90-inch lens in the south turn as we still got that triple-decker in turn number 1. And now Kelsey Best takes the advantage on the buoy on Miss Home Street. DJ Miller second, Cy Bowen third. Brad, we're halfway through it. Any one of these 3 could still get first place.
Yeah, Cy Bowen on the outside there in third place. He's still having to run in lane number 4 because Bo Rarig, at least through the lower end of the race course, was still hanging in there on the inside of him, and he did not have legal overlap. So it's making it doubly hard on Cy Bowen, and he's still got the same problem. Bo Rarig will not go away in lane number 3, but now it looks like Kelsey Best is starting to open up water on DJ Miller.
White flag display to get around here quickly on this virtual Ted Jones race course at Lake Washington. Kelsey Best in front, DJ Miller in second, Cy Bowen in third, and Bo Rarig trying to get in the mix in fourth in the bucket list racing. Brad, a half a lap to go. Best looking good in front, but still battling for second, third, and fourth.
It's all about getting points in these preliminary heats, and Kelsey Best is on deck right now to pick up 400 of them if he can complete this lap the third time around and hang on to first place. The other drivers are going to give it one last push, but I think they're going to run out of real estate. Kelsey Best, our 2020 virtual APBA Gold Cup champion, is going to take Heat 1A here at the Home Street Bank Cup at Seafair. Jeff, give him the checkered flag.
On board with Kelsey, he streaks to the start-finish line buoy. There's your winner of Unlimited 1A, Kelsey Best, in the Home Street. Second place will go to DJ Miller in the Botano Homes. Cy Bowen third in Griggs Miss Ace Hardware. Bo will be fourth. Bo Rarig fourth in the bucket list racing. And we'll go back. Scott Presbelski will get the 5th position. And in the 6th spot was Tim Johnson in the Goodman Real Estate. Brad, we said prior to 1A, full field, 6 boats in the A and B sections. It proved us right. Great way to begin the day. Triple decker right off turn number 1 on lap number 1. That's what I like.
That's what you like. That's what the fans like. And we had that for the better part of 2 of the 3 laps. A couple of things I noticed in that one, and I noticed you did too. Cy Bowen showed an incredible amount of boat speed. He pretty much had to run lane 4 the whole time. If Cy Bowen puts that piston-powered boat on an inside lane, these guys are going to have their hands full with him. Also, extremely impressed with the driving job of Bo Rarig in the 440. He drove that entire heat in a tunnel and was able to hold his lane there between DJ Miller and Cy Bowen. He was able to hold it and come home with a solid 4th place finish. Good racing in our Heat 1A. We'll hope to be joined up here momentarily by our first heat winner, Kelsey Best driving the U6, the Miss Home Street. Boat out of Madison, Indiana, owned by Miss Madison Incorporated. And I think maybe we've got Kelsey with us now. Kelsey, you got Brad Luce and Jeff Ayler here. Congratulations on a first heat win. And it's got to feel really good to drive the Miss Home Street to a victory in the Home Street Bank Cup at Seafair.
Yeah, thanks, Brad. Jeff, yeah, feels really good. Obviously, a little bit added pressure, just like there was in Madison this year. Want to put out a good result for the Miss Madison team and Home Street Bank. So yeah, it feels good to get a little weight off the chest. My heart was beating a little bit more than normal for a Heat 1A.
Well, I can tell you it's fun to do a race call with Jeff Ayler because he loves to talk about triple deckers when we get three of you hooked up. We had three of you guys hooked up for about a lap and 3/4 there. You had a lot of red in your right side rear view mirrors.
Yeah. Obviously, both those guys are very fast. DJ and Cy, you saw they're good, clean racers as well. I was a little bit back at the start, but had some good momentum, and obviously was able to get through that first corner clean, which is key. And from there was a lot of rough water on that inside. We're running 6-boat heats here, and Seattle can get pretty rough. So yeah, it was a little tough navigating that inside lane, but was able to do it and then finally get a little bit of space. And yeah, glad for the result.
Well, I'm sure you were. It's 400 points. That's what you have to do. You've got to accumulate points to get into the final. You handled the pressure at the APBA Gold Cup in Madison, Indiana. You appear to be handling it well so far. Go get a cold drink, my friend. We'll look for you down the road, but you're off to a good start. Congratulations.
Appreciate it. Thanks, you guys.
So there's our winner. And we talk about this just being virtual racing, Jeff Ayler, and, it's not the real McCoy, and these guys are just sitting with their feet up on the couch. Kelsey Best is feeling some added pressure here. He's in a place he doesn't call home anymore, but he still figures he's from the Pacific Northwest, Kelsey Best, and he's driving the Miss Home Street in the Home Street Bank Cup at Seafair. He's feeling some heat.
I tell you what, Brad, I've been blessed to work. I think this is our 5th one now we've worked together with our Drivers Invitational and E-League. And my sense of humor, I get tickled real easy. And this is a game, but every time we interview one of these drivers after a heat win, they're exhausted. It's like they've actually been in the boat. They're winded, they're happy, and they're like, wow, I really had to drive hard to win 1A. He's looking to the second section. He's putting himself in a good position to go into that second heat.
Yeah, our drivers are really excited about this. And I'll tell you, I think H1 Unlimited can learn a little bit from this virtual racing. And I might have to have a conversation off microphone with some of the folks here because what I get to do in Detroit running up and down the tower. I kind of like this little piece here where I get to sit in my same chair and do the driver's interviews that I call the race from. I think we ought to be able to do that at the real race course.
I like that.
I tell you, it's a lot easier on my body, that's for sure. Anyway, that was a good one, and I expect Heat 1B, we're going to see more of the same. We've got 6 boats coming out again. It is our Heat 1B. We'll have the rundown here momentarily, but we are waiting for the countdown from our chief referee. And we are inside 5 seconds. We are 3 seconds, 2, 1. Mark. 5 minutes and 5 seconds to the start of our Heat 1B. Jeff Ayler, you heard Kelsey Best talk about the fact there was himself and 5 other boats on the course. We get the same thing here in 1B. It's a full field of H1 Unlimited virtual hydroplanes. That means 6 in each heat. Doesn't get any better than that. It makes that lower corner a real busy place to be. Let's go through the rundown, Jeff Ayler, who we got coming out in 1B.
Should be fun in 1B. We go on board quickly. The Chartreuse and Carnival Orange. It's Travis Johnson out of Madison, 36 years of age, driving the J&Ds. He was 11th on the ladder in qualifying, but a good speed at 155, 352. On board with Eddie Canfus, 17 years of age out of Grand Island, New York. Our Tri-Cities watching and winner. Third quick on the ladder in qualifying, 156.352. Third entrant, first time I've seen the number 10, Spirit, Detroit 2 this year. Jeff DeWalt chauffeurs out of Warren, Michigan, 51 years of age, checked in at 153.145. Fourth entry, Mickey Washburn, 41 years of age out of Pasco, Washington, in the number 21. Darryl Straub presents Payne West Insurance. Mickey, sixth fastest in qualifying, 156.217. Red, white, and blue, U98, Graham Trucking American Dream. Matt Johnson drives out of Renton, Washington. The 29-year-old checked in on the qualifying ladder, ninth quick at 155.542 miles per hour. And the Graham Trucking, the teammate boat, Quentin Miller, our winner in Guntersville earlier this year out of Mercer Island, Washington, 25 years of age. Quentin checked in 10th quick at 155.490. And Brad, you saw on board with Quentin, the park and start sequence has begun for him. We're 240 away. Lots to decide before that 1 minute pin. This is where it gets fun and interesting.
Yeah, it certainly does. Coming up on 2 minutes and 30 seconds, we saw how important that inside lane is and was during our first heat. It was claimed by Kelsey Best. The first place finish went to Kelsey Best. And I see a lot of orange down there on the inside, but there's still a lot to happen. Eddie Canfouche driving that 99.9 bucket list Miss Rock. He'd love to be in lane number one as you get a very, very close-up look there at Matt Johnson as he started up the backstretch and will now cut the race course and come over to the front stretch and see if he can get into. Oh, he's actually over on the backstretch right now. You can tell by that log boom that is always filled with thousands and hundreds of pleasure boats. I should say hundreds on the log boom, but there's always thousands of pleasure craft in there behind them. Makes for the very, very choppy race course here on Lake Washington, the Ted Jones race course. Coming up on 1:35 until the start. Keeping an eye there on Matt Johnson as he's going to come down and join the parking lot. Keep an eye on him, Jeff. Bring him to that 1 minute buoy.
Coming up on the 125 mark, you see left to right. We go above now. Mickey Washburn is there first in the 21, followed by Eddie Canfouche. Now Quentin Miller picks it up, followed by Travis Johnson. 1 minute and 10 seconds until the start. Have to have your boat behind that exit pin of turn number one prior to 1 minute. We got Matt Johnson and DeWalt coming up quickly on the outside.
Mark,
there
1
is
minute.
The 1 minute period. And everyone appeared to be legal. Clean score up. Brad, Matt Johnson was up there quickly. Can he cross? But Travis Johnson is there holding his position, and it's tight.
I'm not sure if he actually did leapfrog there. He made a move to the left, but I don't think he had enough room to get over on Canfouche, so he brought himself back. So I think he is okay, but look at our lane assignments up there now. Looks like Travis Johnson has got himself into lane number one. Then I think it's Eddie Canfouche in two. If I've got it right, it's going to be Matt Johnson in three. One of the problems you run into when you get up there that early is you find yourself way early to come to the line. But we're inside 20 seconds. We're 15 now, Jeff. Bring him off the top end of the race course and bring him down. Quentin Miller is going to be in lane number one.
Quentin Miller in one, Travis Johnson in two, Matt Johnson three, Eddie Canfouche in four. Flanked to his outside, Mickey Washburn. There's the start. It appears to be clean. We're racing. Clean start. We're racing in 1B at Seattle for the E-League drivers. Oh, and Travis Johnson hit. Oh, and we got Matt Johnson over and Mickey Washburn over. Johnson continues on. We'll see if the officials will have a penalty there. Johnson, your leader, and Brad, some shenanigans here to begin 1A or 1B.
Boy, that was a wild first turn. We mentioned running six boats here. Turn one is under review. We're hearing the officials in our ear, so they will go back and take a look at it. Meanwhile, we'll call the boats as they are on the water, and it is a good one on the water right now. We got three boats basically side by side by side. Quentin Miller is on the inside. Your leader is Travis Johnson, but on the far outside, keep an eye on Eddie Canfouche. One in the books, Jeff. Bring him down to that lower corner.
Triple decker into the south turn. Johnson in front, and now Canfouche got in there a little bit tight. What a wild, erratic 1B, and Johnson kept his lane. Now Quentin Miller takes the lead, Brad. We're halfway through it in a wild, wacky Virtual 1B.
Jeff, we are hearing from the officials there is no call in turn 1, lap 1. It is legal. So the boats are on the water as they are, and you've got 3 of them just wired together. And as you said, and correctly so, a wild Heat 1B here. Coming down to put 2 in the book. Quentin Miller in the U12, the Graham truck. He's got a lead, but he's got a lot of speed just outside of him. 2 in the books, Jeff.
2 complete, 1 to go. Quentin Miller in front and Graham trucking. Travis Johnson flying the J&Ds back in second. Eddie Canfush in third. They work 1, 2, and 3 in the south turn. All 3 working their final lap. Miller, Johnson, and Canfush. Brad, a half a lap to go. Can Miller hang on in lane 1?
Well, lane 1's been the key, and he is going to have to hold it on because Travis Johnson does not want to let him go. He's riding as close as he can to the right side of that bright red, black and silver U12 Graham trucking. It looks like Quentin's going to be able to hold him off, but you bring him down, Jeff. Call him across the line. 1, 2, 3.
They streak to the finish. Checkered flag out, and Quentin Miller will hang on to the Graham trucking, your winner in the U12. Travis Johnson second in the J&Ds. Eddie Canfush will get third. The bucket list KISW Miss Rock. Jeff DeWalt will cross in fourth in the Spirit of Detroit 2, and we'll go back to the 5th and 6th positions. Looking for 5th and 6th were DNFs, and that would include Mickey Washburn and Matt Johnson. They will score unfortunate DNFs here in a wild and woolly Virtual Unlimited 1B. And Brad, what a wild first turn, and Miller survives it. He gets 400. Those are huge in a heat like that.
Yeah, and we just got the 2 boats there, the 21 and the 98, with Mickey Washburn, Matt Johnson, both getting a DNF. For those of you that have been watching this racing series as well as the Drivers' Invitational, that is one of the differences between the 2 leagues. In the E-League Racing Series presented by Staples, if your boat is in the view of the chief referee to having gone over, which those 2 boats did in the lower corner on lap 1, you are disqualified and not allowed to continue racing. You can in the Drivers' Invitational. That's one of the rule differences. I think perhaps we have Quentin Miller in the broadcast booth with us.
Yep.
Quentin, can you hear me?
Yep, you got me, guys?
Well, yeah, we got you. We got you loud
Perfect.
and clear. And I don't know how much you saw or witnessed of what went on in that first turn, but how did it look from where you were sitting?
I saw, I was just focused on trying to make a good corner, and I think I saw the 11 bear out maybe a little bit, or I don't know, 98 come in. I just kind of heard a hop and was kind of focusing on my corner, and I heard a couple boats hop, and my brother was spotting for me there, and he let me know that Matt, unfortunately, my teammate, sounded like he kind of DNF there, but I was just focusing on my corner and trying to just nail the corner every time since I had the inside there. So yeah, I just felt pretty good there, and to hold them off, make sure I don't hit any buoys on the inside. So yeah, and just wanted to I got to thank while I'm in here too. Make sure I thank Graham Trucking and Rob Graham and Troy Graham and even J. Michael Kelly and Corey Peabody. They do a lot for me and help me out with this. And then thank all of our sponsors here at Home Street Bank, Cup at Seafair. This is my home course. Pretty awesome to get a heat win. And then Staples of Spokane and Jesse Stitches and Atomic Screen Printing and Spokane Angels, all of them for what they do for us. It's pretty awesome that we get to do this.
It really is very awesome. And I want to go back to that lower corner one more time because you were not the first boat to get down there. And I would imagine from your standpoint, with everything going on in that corner, it all occurred outside of you. That's one time you were doubly happy to be on an inside lane. If you can hold your line and get through there, chances are you're going to be clean and safe.
Yeah, that's my goal just about every time in the mill is to get lane 1, if not lane 2. I try not to settle for anything else besides that. And I wanted to make sure not to jump the gun. It looked like we were a hair early, and I kind of lifted, and I probably shouldn't have. I probably lifted a little bit there to make sure I was safe. And then everybody else hit it pretty on the button. But I still felt like we're in a pretty good spot going into that corner. And yeah, not sure what happened. I'll have to go back and watch it later. But yeah, happy to get through that.
Well, congratulations on a heat win. It's all about getting points and finding your way into the final. I said when we opened the show how important it is to win in Seattle. Given you are from Mercer Island, Washington, which we're seeing in the background every time you guys go up the backstretch, it really is something special to win here on the Ted Jones race course.
Yeah, it's pretty insane. It's where I grew up watching and can hear boats from my house here when they're on the water. So it's pretty dang cool.
Well, very darn cool to win Heat 1B of the 2020 Home Street Bank Cup at Seafair. We've got a lot more racing to go, but you're off to a good start. Congratulations, my friend.
Yep, thanks, guys.
There's our first place finisher in our Heat 1B, Jeff Ayler, a pretty happy Quentin Miller, and everything seemed to get wild in that first turn, but it was all in lane 2 and out. As long as he could hold his line through that corner, he came through clean.
We'll see what our Commissioner Tate Meyer would like to do, if we want to go to the draw next, or if we could see a replay of that. He was racking it up. I'd love to see that turn 1 once again on lap 1 going to that entrance pin.
Maybe while he is re-racking that, we'll take this opportunity to thank our sponsors, because H1 Unlimited, the E-League Racing Series, would like to thank Staples, your one-stop shop for all your home office needs, specifically those locations in Spokane, Moses Lake, and Linwood. Staples, your one-stop shop for your home office needs. Also, the Angels Foster Care Community in Spokane, Seattle, and on the Olympic Peninsula. Atomic Screen Printing, Jesse's Stitches, and Woodshed Embroidery. Strong supporters of unlimited hydroplane racing, both real and on the virtual scale. Thanks to all those folks at Atomic, Jesse's, and Woodshed. Also like to thank the American Powerboat Association. The American Powerboat Association is that which the H1 Unlimited is a proud member of the APBA, and the APBA is the national authority for boat racing in the United States. The APBA is a member-driven organization established in 1903 and headquartered in East Point, Michigan. For more information on the American Powerboat Association, or to become a member yourself, head on over to www.apba.org. That's apba.org, the American Powerboat Association. All right, so we are going to go now to our heat draws for the second set of heats. That'll be heats 2A and 2B. Doing the honors, our good friend from Detroit, Mr. Dave Bardish, owner of the boat number 7 and boat number 12 on the H1 Unlimited circuit. Dave Bardish going to be talking to us from his shop in Detroit. And he's got with him his shop dog, Mike Ike. So Dave Bardish and Mike Ike, take it away.
Hi, this is Dave Bardish from Detroit, Michigan. I've been asked to draw for the Heat 2A and 2B for the Hydroplane Simulated Series, sponsored by H1 E-League and Home Street Bank for 2020 Cup. I brought my friend Mike Ike along to help me along. Ike is our shop dog, and he's real eager to get going. So let's start the draw. This is for Heat 2A. The first number is 12. Ike, do you approve? Ike approves. Next draw, number 98. Ike, do you agree? Ike agrees. Third boat, 21. Ike, more than happy to agree. The fourth boat, number 3. Ike is going along with this whole program, so he must like what he's seeing here. Fourth boat, I am on the fourth boat, right? 91. $99.9. Ike likes that. Number 6, U6. Ike, real good. You got a lot of bones here, I don't know. Number 11. Uh-oh. That's a phone ring. Somebody doesn't like the draws. Next one is U7, my favorite. Ike, You agree? This is Ike's favorite boat, U10. Well, he's having the ball here. Next draw is 440. This is all 2B. How many boats do we have here, guys? The last draw, 2B, number 9. Ike, you approve? Yeah, he likes that. So he's going to take that. That should do the complete drawing for 2A and 2B. I don't think I made any mistakes. Appreciate the opportunity to participate in the Hydro Simulated Series. We'll see you on the race course next year in 2021.
Our thanks to Dave Bardish and Mike Ike for doing the call back in Detroit for our heats 2A and 2B. And Jeff Ayler, before we get involved in that, we have been advised by the H1 Unlimited E-League Racing Series officials that they have reviewed that tape from our previous Heat 1B and specifically Lap 1, Turn 1, and indeed a call has been made in that heat, and the call is going against what we first reported as our second place finisher, which was boat number 11, the J&Ds and Travis Johnson. Travis has been issued a disqualification in our Heat 1B. That's going to carry with it a goose egg as far as points for him, and it's going to impact the boats that we initially reported as finishing behind him. Our second place finisher now, first of all, Quentin Miller in the 12, the Graham Trucking, he is still our first place finisher. He gets 400 points. Our second place finisher is now the 99.9 bucket list Miss Rock, Fast Eddie Canfouche. He is now your second place finisher. Mark him down with 300 points. Jeff DeWalt driving the U10, the Spirit of Detroit. He moves from fourth to third place, score him 225 points. And then this is where it gets a little interesting. Both the 21, Mickey Washburn, and the 98, Matt Johnson, received initially, did not finishes in that heat and no points. But because their incident was caused by a boat that was eventually disqualified, both Mickey Washburn and Matt Johnson are awarded 169 fourth place points. So 5 of our 6 boats got points in that heat. The only one that didn't, unfortunately, Travis Johnson, he was disqualified. Lap 1, Turn 1, Heat 1B. Did you get that all squared away there, Jeff? Got your point sheet ready to go?
Boy, excellent job, Brad. I'm still figuring here with the Sharpie marker, but boy, it was thrilling. But unfortunately, Travis Johnson, as you mentioned, had the DSQ with the bearing out, and it was big for Eddie Canfouche, Brad, because initially he had 305 points, including qualifying after the first section. And I've got him right now with 380, so that really put him right up the ladder there, going from third up to second. But our current point leader right now after one heat is Kelsey Best in the home street with 460, followed by Quentin Miller in second and the Graham Trucking at 430. And then I've got Eddie in there in third in the bucket list KISW Miss Rock with 380.
Well, and keep in mind, Eddie Canfouche, he just picked up 75 more points as a result of the disqualification to Travis Johnson, as you just outlined. But Eddie came into today with about a 700-point lead in national high points. So he's fighting for any point he can get. He would love to be crowned our season national high points champion after the race in San Diego. But a lot's going to take place between now and then. But he just picked up 75 more points. Good for Eddie. I think we're ready to go racing here in our Heat 2A. Dave Bardish and the dog did a great job drawing our boats into the heat. We're listening and monitoring the official radio right now. We'll have a countdown to our 5 seconds to the 5-minute mark. And we will run our boats down as they come out on the water. But again, 6 boats in 2A, 6 boats in 2B. Keep an eye on that first turn. Don't take your eyes off of it. We are about 10 seconds away from the 5 seconds to the 5-minute mark. We are 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 mark. 5:05 to the start of our Heat 2A. It's the 2020 H1 Unlimited E-League Racing Series. It is the Home Street Bank Cup at Seafair. And what a beautiful sight. The Stansares Memorial Pit Area, built in 1957 specifically for the purpose of unlimited hydroplane racing. It is an iconic site on H1 Unlimited Racing and on the H1 circuit. And it never looks better than when 6 hydroplanes come away from the dock. Jeff Ayler, who we got coming in our Heat 2A?
6 boats. We go on board the 91, the gold and black. Goodman Real Estate, Tim Johnson in the seat. Tim was 6th, back in Unlimited 1A. LC Best, the Home Street Blue and White. Our regatta sponsor today, Home Street Bank, the U6. Kelsey, a winner back in Unlimited 1A. On board with DJ Miller in the Botano Homes. Virtual owner Dave Bardish, DJ 2nd in Unlimited 1A. On board with the Graham Trucking, Quentin Miller, our winner earlier in Unlimited 1B. Looking for a double here in 2A. Nicky Washburn, 4th place finisher in Unlimited 1B on board. With him and the number 21, Daryl Strom presents Payne West Insurance. Our 6th entrant, the Tennessee Orange, Bo Rarig, driving for the virtual owners Sharon and Kelly Stockland. Bo Rarig, 4th, back in Unlimited 1A. So Brad, going through that lineup, a lot of boats saw each other in 1A. They come back and see each other in 2A. But Miller, who won 1B, goes up against Best, who won 1A. This is a very competitive field. Some of the back markers earlier on in 1A, they could come up and surprise and win here in 2A. I would not be surprised at all.
Wouldn't be surprised at all, and that's what it's all about. We keep talking about it. It is points, 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 because after we run Heats 1, Heats 2, and still a 3rd section, after everybody has run 3 times on the Ted Jones race course, Jeff will get out his abacus and he'll start adding up the numbers, and the 6 boats with the most points will be on the front row of the final. We're going to go 5 laps in that final, and it's a winner-take-all final. So the bottom line, Jeff, to H1 Unlimited Racing, and it's the same here in our E-League Racing Series. You got to get in that final heat before you can win it. So that's what all the preliminary racing is all about.
On board with Quentin Miller. Quentin cutting through the infield there, Brad. There was a slot for people in there. He did. And now he's corkscrewed the left, trying to find a position. Great view from our south turn camera. The I-90 bridge in the background. There's Bo Rarig to the outside in the bucket list. The big heat here, Brad, and we said mistakes will hurt you, and we saw that back in Unlimited 1B. We'll see who can get lane number 1 here, and they're fighting for it right now. 4 of them parking. And Tim Johnson, Kelsey Best, Quentin Miller, and DJ Miller toward the back here, just outside the entrance pin of turn 1.
Look for them to start picking it up here momentarily, and here they go. You're exactly right. They were fighting hard for that inside lane, despite the fact not a one of them was moving there for about 30 seconds. Bring them to the 1-minute buoy, Jeff.
For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mark. 1-minute period is come and gone. Everyone appears to be at the 1-minute mark. Clean score up at the 1-minute pin. And Brad, right now, Mr. Tim Johnson in that Goodman Real Estate, he's got a great stake at lane number 1, and he's going to get it. Beautiful driving by Johnson.
Yeah, he really did. He could pull his foot out of it here and slow down a little bit, because he actually led the field up there. He didn't really have to keep anybody from leapfrogging over in front of him. He was ahead of everybody else. So he's got that part of the puzzle already taken care of. He is in lane 1, and just to his outside was our winner of our Heat 1B, and that would, or our winner in our first heat, that's Kelsey Best, driving a Miss Home Street. We are coming up now on 15 seconds to the start. It's a little bit longer run off the exit pin down to the start-finish line buoy. Jeff, this is lining up to be a good one. Bring them down to the line.
We're coming up now on 3, 2, 1. Mark, and boy, Mickey Washburn had a flyer on the outside in the 21, but he's got the furthest way to travel around. Kelsey Best tucked back in lane number 2. Nice side and turn number 1 up about south turn. Tim Johnson, your leader in Goodman Real Estate. They come off the turn. Brad Johnson in front. We got a battle for second. They're side by side.
Yeah, we got a great battle coming in second place. And keep an eye on Kelsey Best. He is in lane number 2, but he's driving down the hallway in there. A tough spot for the winner of our Heat 1A, Kelsey Best. He's looking at him in there. He's in the tunnel, and over he goes. Kelsey could not hold that lane. We said he was in a tunnel. He had his hands full in there, and it got the best of him. He is out of it. But meanwhile, our leader, the 91, it coming down to put one of the books. Tim Johnson looks really strong, Jeff.
Johnson in front. That incident with Best up in the north turn is under review. So Johnson, your leader in Goodman Real Estate. DJ Miller second, and now Quentin Miller got into the tail of Johnson back in the third position. Tim Johnson in front. DJ Miller in second, Quentin Miller in third. Brad, we're halfway through it. Another Donnybrook here on the virtual Ted Jones Racecourse.
Yeah, now it's Quentin Miller who is in the tough spot back there driving between a couple of boats. He's got to maintain his lane through here. Don't worry about passing somebody. Just hold your line and get through clean. We saw what happened to Kelsey Best the last time through, and it looks like Quentin's going to come through clean, albeit in third place. And now it looks like Tim Johnson starting to open up some water here as we complete lap number 2, Jeff.
Tim Johnson was sixth back in Unlimited 1A. He's first here in Virtual 2A, looking to bag a big 400 here for the 91 camp. Tim Johnson in front. DJ Miller remains in second. Now Brad Bo-Rara getting in the mix, trying to battle for third. Half a lap to go. It's Johnson comfortably in front, but Miller and Rarick battling for third.
Yeah, watch Bo Rarick on the outside. He's got a big course to drive. I don't know if he could pull it off, but he is going to give it a go. This is the third and final time around. Our leaders are at the top end of the race course. Exit pin comes into view right now and bring our leader down to the finish line. But watch the positions behind him, Jeff.
Tim Johnson will win it in Goodman Real Estate. DJ Miller in second. Here's your battle for third. We go above, and Bo Rarick pulls on the outside to get third in the 440 Bucket List Racing. What a great driving job by Bo Rarick. Quentin Miller will settle for fourth position. He was the winner of Unlimited 1B in the fifth spot. We'll go to Mickey Washburn and Kelsey Best get that did not finish, unfortunately, going over in the north turn on lap number 1. But Brad, as you've heard me say it numerous times over the years, write them down in pencil, which I should have brought. This one's under review.
Jeff made a mistake at this year's Home Street Bank Cup at Seafair here. Instead of bringing his pencil with the big eraser, he apparently brought himself a permanent marker. So I don't know what his score sheet's going to look like at the end of the day, but it's going to have a few cross outs on it. We're getting some calls in our ear. That's why we were quiet. Apparently, Jeff, I didn't catch all of it, but it sounds like we have a call on Quentin Miller for veering out. That is going to take away a fourth place finish and move Mickey Washburn, I assume, up into fourth. The question now is going to be, what will that do to Kelsey Best? Does he get any points for that heat? We'll check again with the officials. And it sounds like Kelsey Best will pick up 169 points, similar to what we saw in the previous heat, Jeff, when a boat is impacted by a boat that is eventually disqualified. And that's the reason, in the referee's opinion, that they went over and flipped and crashed. Then they don't get the DNF. They do get some points, in this case, 169 for Kelsey Best. And that is very big. Equally as big for Quentin Miller, who was a winner earlier in the day, now finds himself with a goose egg here in our Heat 2A. I think we've got Tim Johnson in the booth with us. Tim, can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you, Brad.
Well, congratulations there. It was a little bit rough in that first heat of the day, but boy, did you come back strong in the second one. Getting that inside lane is so important.
Yeah, definitely had a rough first race, so really happy to turn it around in this heat. Got to give a shout out to Staples, Atomic Screen Printing, Jesse Stitches, Spokane's Angels, also Goodman Real Estate. I know they really like to do well in Seafair, so looking to give them a good result. Can't thank the Miss Madison team and the citizens of Madison, Indiana enough for giving me this opportunity, and of course Home Street Bank for putting on this show for Seafair.
As a young man who grew up following H1 Unlimited racing, we talked to all the drivers about this. Seattle really is something special. If you could pull this off, it would feel mighty good, I am sure.
Yeah, you got that right. It's definitely a special place to race, and I remember going to races all the time, and I really love going to those races and would love to win it in my hometown.
Well, I'll tell you what, there's an old saying in boat racing that I certainly don't have to introduce you to, but if you're going to have a bad heat, I learned along the way a long time ago, have it in the first one of the day. Don't have it later on in the day. So you got the bad one out of the way, picked it up with a 400-point first place finish here in Heat 2A. Congratulations, young man. We'll look for you in the third section and possibly then on into the final. Congrats.
Thank you, Brad.
Tim Johnson, he drove a mighty good race. He got the inside lane before the 1 minute mark. Jeff Ayler, he protected it up the backstretch, had a good start, had a lot of boat speed, held his lane through the first turn, and then he just kept everybody behind him in the right side rearview mirror. Great drive by Mr. Tim Johnson.
Boy, it sure was, Brad. And I mentioned prior to the start, a back marker from the first section could come up and win. You saw it right there, 6th in 1A. Checkered flag, first place in 2A. I knew it was wild and woolly today. It's proving out just like I expected.
Well, this is what the H1 Unlimited E-League Racing Series presented by Staples is all about. That was the point we were making when we opened the show here a little bit ago. It is extremely competitive, and you never do know who is going to win. We've had 3 races. We've had 3 winners. We've only had 7 different people stand on 9 podium spots. It's going to be good, and we got a long way to go. And right now, it is Heat 2B, and I can tell you what I'm looking forward to on this one. We've got our top qualifier going up against another set of that Tennessee Orange, 99.9 and Eddie Canfouche. This is going to be a good one. Travis needs some points in this one. You'll run down all the boats, Jeff, but get ready. We're going to get a countdown here from our officials. We are 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 mark. 5 minutes and 5 seconds to the start of our Heat 2B. It is the H1 Unlimited E-League Racing Series presented by Staples. And today it is the 2020 Home Street Bank Cup at Seafair. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 H1 Unlimited Virtual Hydroplanes. Look at that shot. What a great look from down at the south end of the race course. Before I started broadcasting, Jeff, that was my view. That's where I always got up early in the morning and went down and claimed my space of real estate so I could watch H1 racing. Jeff Ayler, run down who we've got in our Heat 2B.
Thank you very much, Brad Luce, on board with the youngster, 17 years of age. Our top qualifier, Cy Bowen. Griggs presents Miss Ace Hardware. I was 3rd in Unlimited 1A. Second entrant on board with Travis Johnson out of Madison, Indiana, and the Chartreuse and Carnival Orange J&Ds. Travis, the unfortunate DSQ in 1B. He needs 400 here in 2B to get back up on the points ladder. Third entrant, Scott Przbilski. Delta Real Track, number 9 boat. Scott was 5th in 1A. Fourth entrant, Matt Johnson in the 98 Graham Trucking American Dream. Matt was 4th back in Unlimited 1B. Fifth entrant, Eddie Canfouche, our Tri-Cities winner, was 3rd in Unlimited 1B in the Bucket List KISW Miss Rock, the 99.9. And our final entrant, the Black and Gold Spirit of Detroit 2. Jeff DeWalt drives the number 10. Jeff was 3rd back in Unlimited 1B. Brad, we're 3 minutes away this virtual Ted Jones race course, the E-League drivers, I knew it would be competitive coming in. It's proven to my point. We still got 3 preliminary heats to go, 1 consolation. What kind of antics will we see here in 2B? Travis Johnson, no doubt, must-win situation.
Yeah, Travis Johnson is in a tough spot here after the DSQ in our Heat 1B. But another boat that I want to keep a close eye on this one is our top qualifier, Cy Bowen, driving that U3. Go3 Racing presents Griggs Ace Hardware. You will remember in our Heat 1A, he came home with a 3rd place finish, but he did it from lane number 4, and he showed an incredible amount of straightaway speed. I look for Cy to see if he can't get that boat on an inside lane, and if he does, look out. And you never know where Eddie Canfouche is going to come from, but you know wherever it is, he's going to bring a whole lot of speed with him. 2 minutes to the start of Heat 2B. It's the 2020 Home Street Bank Cup at Seafair.
On the back straightaway, you see a couple of boats up on power. Jeff DeWalt went by in the Spirit of Detroit 2. Travis Johnson in the J&Ds. We're now viewing Matt Johnson in the Graham Trucking. He slides outside. Eddie Canfouche went inside his wake, and it looks like Eddie has actually cut through the infield on the virtual Ted Jones race course. He has. You see the Stan Sayers pit area in the background. Now he straightens it up. And Brad, you know Eddie loves lane number 1, the shortest way around. But he's got company up in front of him. Cy Bowen is up there parking early. And the Griggs presents Miss Ace Hardware. We're coming up on the 110 mark, 110 away. There's Bowen. There's Przybylski. Eddie not in a bad spot in 3. We're coming up on the 1 minute period. Have to have your boat behind that exit pin at turn number 1, and it's going to be close. Matt Johnson was there. Will he be legal?
He's backing his foot out of it now. But the run is on the inside. We are going to see if Cy Bowen can hold off and maintain and protect his lane number 1. I think he's going to be able to do it. Matt Johnson did jump the 1 minute buoy. You saw him make a hard left-hand turn. He will go back down and pick up that 1 minute buoy again. Scott Przybylski was unable to get the overlap on Cy Bowen. So as we talked before the heat, I said I expected Cy Bowen to make a concerted effort to get on an inside lane. He's got it. If he can put his boat on the line with a lot of boat speed and clean water, look out. Cy Bowen might be tough to beat. We are inside 20 seconds. In fact, we're inside 15. Jeff, bring him to the line. It is Heat 2B, the Home Street Bank Cup at Seafair.
We're coming to the line. We're 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mark, it appears to be legal. We're racing in the virtual 1B here at the Home Street Bank Cup at Seafair. Into the south turn on the outside. That is Jeff DeWalt in front, but company on the inside, shorter way around. Scott Przybylski in front by half a boat length over Eddie Canfouche. And now Canfouche tightens it up. Brad, we're deck to deck here in 2B.
Got another one of your triple deckers going on. Scott Przybylski, the game's creator. He is on the inside, but he's given a little bit of ground to fast Eddie Canfouche. Eddie's got him by about 2 boat lengths, but now Przybylski makes up ground on the inside. I said Cy Bowen had to have his boat on the line at the start with a lot of boat speed. He was late, and as a result, he's running in 4th place, Jeff.
We'll come down to complete lap number 1. It's a deck-to-deck duel up in the front in 2B. Przybylski to the buoy row. Canfouche to his outside. DeWalt in 3rd, Bowen in 4th. We work up above the south turn here on the virtual Ted Jones race course. Now Przybylski pulls out. Make it 5 boat lengths over Canfouche. Brad, we're halfway through it. The game creator, his game is on.
His game is on, and so is Eddie on the outside. You saw him fly in the boat coming off the lower corner, doing everything he can to get more speed out of it, and he is running right on the hip of the game's creator, Scott Przybylski. This is really close, and it's not over yet. Eddie Canfouche will not give up. He's our national high points leader. He wants every point he can get. Here he comes, Jeff.
This one's not over. We're getting word that Cy Bowen hit a buoy back and forth in the Griggs. But your top 2 entering turn number 1. Final lap here for Przybylski and Canfouche. Przybylski to the inside. Here comes Fast Eddie on his hip on the outside. Beautiful corner by Przybylski. Brad, we're a half a lap away. Can the number 9 hang on in front?
I'll tell you what, Eddie Canfouche on the outside's got to be careful. These 300 points are a lot better than blowing it over, but he wants 400. This is going to be really close. Watch how much air Eddie Canfouche puts underneath that 99.9. It's going to be close. Bring him down, Jeff. This is the final lap.
Checkered flag waving. Scott Przybylski on the inside, begging for the checkered flag. He gets it. Your winner of Unlimited 2B in the Delta Rail Track, Scott Przybylski. Eddie Canfouche in second. Bucket List, KISW Miss Rock. I believe Jeff DeWalt will get the third spot. The Spirit of Detroit 2, Matt Johnson in fourth. In the Graham Trucking American Dream, Cy Bowen will, and Travis Johnson, unfortunately, did not start in the J&D. So Brad, Cy Bowen, our top qualifier, fifth in that heat, but boy, a big win by Scott Przybylski. He's put himself into good position now going into the third heat after that fifth place in 1A. We've seen finishes and positions all over the board today here at the virtual Home Street Bank Cup at Seafair. It's been fun to watch.
It's been an awful lot of fun, and I'll tell you what, when we finally get around to putting all the points up on the screen, because of what you're talking about, boats that won the first time out and having a tough time in the second set of heats and vice versa for those who had trouble up front, I got to understand that there are a lot of boats very, very close in points, and we're putting them up on the screen right now. It is going to be difficult to pick leaders out of this, at least so far. But remember, Jeff Ayler, we have one more section of heats to go. But before we'll get there, we'll hopefully get a word with Scott Przybylski. He didn't have the inside lane. He came from lane number 2. But Cy Bowen was a little tardy at the start, so Scott was able to enjoy a lot of lane space down there in turn 1. I think we've got him in here with us. Scott, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Well, you were not on the inside lane. You were in lane 2, but you were definitely on time. So you didn't have to worry too much about Cy Bowen because he wasn't there. He was a little bit late, but oh my goodness, you knew Eddie Canfouche was not going to let you go.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. My spotter was in my ear telling me to move to 1 at the start because I had overlap on Cy. But yeah, Eddie was right there the whole time. Was fighting with some wakes a little bit in the first lap, but was able to hold him off.
And I know we've had this conversation before. We refer to you often as the game's creator, but that doesn't give you an advantage over these guys in any way, shape, or form, does it?
No, it definitely doesn't. I'm racing the same game as everybody else. I'm not using anything special.
You can't give a few extra horsepower to your boat there every once in a while?
Could. That wouldn't be fair, though. Yeah.
No. Well, I'll tell you, what you have created here has just been fantastic. And I know everybody is enjoying it. I get notes all week long. I know Jeff Ayler does as well, and you guys do. Fans are enjoying this. So maybe from the Unlimited Racing community, instead of talking about your Heat 2B win, let me say on behalf of everybody, thank you for what you have done to bring this race to life. It's a lot of fun.
Well, you're welcome, and thank you. I've been enjoying the large influx of people joining. It's pretty fun having all these people to race with.
Well, you had a tough one in the first section of heats. Didn't work so well, but boy, you redeemed yourself. And as I said to one of the other drivers here just recently, I was talking with Tim Johnson, and I said, the old saying in boat racing is if you're going to have a tough heat, do it in the first heat. Don't do it in the final. Maybe it's going to bode well for you later on in the day.
Yeah, I was trying to play it safe and get a few points in the first heat, and it didn't work out too well. So I knew I had to stick my nose in there for the 1 minute buoy. So it paid off.
It paid off in a big way. That's 400 points. Congratulations. We'll look for you in the third section of our heats, and good luck the rest of the way.
Yeah, thank you. And I want to thank our sponsors, Staples and Atomic Screen Printing and Spokane Angels Foster Care. And of course, Delta Rail Track for sponsoring the U9. The whole U9 team for letting me drive their boat. All right, thank you.
Well, you're very welcome. Thank you. So Scott Przybylski, the winner of our Heat 2B, and Jeff Ayler, the guy's pretty good. They know about the sponsors. They know exactly what I'm going to do next. I was going to talk about our sponsors because H1 Unlimited, the E-League Racing Series, would like to thank Staples. Staples is your one-stop shop for all your home office needs. locations in Spokane, Moses Lake, and Linwood. Also like to thank Jesse Stitches, Woodshed Embroidery, and Atomic Screen Printing for their participation. Jeff Ayler, they have been with us since day one, and we thank them for all that they do. Coming on board with us a couple of weeks ago was the Angels Foster Care Community, and specifically their locations in Spokane, Seattle, and on the Olympic Peninsula to the west of Seattle. Angels Foster Care, where they wrap community around children and families. We don't go racing without our sponsors, Jeff Ayler. I know you know that as well as anybody. And so we thank them for their participation. We look forward to continuing our relationship with them as we move through the balance of the season. But for now, Jeff Ayler, I think it's time to get a draw for our Heats 3A and Heat 3B, and doing the honors for us. We have our crew chief of the, you like to say, the Tennessee Orange. I like that. The 99.9 Bucket List Miss Rock. Their crew chief, Taylor Evans, will do the honors. So Taylor, take it away. Give us the draw for Heats 3A and 3B.
Hey guys, Taylor Evans here, crew chief of the Bucket List U99.9. We're here today to do heat draws for 3A and 3B for the Seattle E-League race. So let's get it going. Heat 3A, V440. Heat 3B, U6. Heat 3A, U9. Heat 3B, U91. Heat 3A, U7. Heat 3B, U10. Heat 3A, if I can grab one, U98. Heat 3B, U3. Heat 3A, the 99.9. Heat 3B, U11. Heat 3A, U21. And Heat 3B, U12. Here's what we got for our heats today. Heat 3A, the V440, the U9, the U7, the U98, the 99.9, and the U21. 3B, the U6, U91, U10, U3, U11, U12.
Taylor Evans, crew chief of the U99.9 Bucket List Miss Rock, doing the honors of our heat draws for 3A and 3B. But before we get to the actual racing, our Jeff Ayler, along with the officials, have been busy tallying points through the first two sections of heats. And I think, Jeff, maybe you can give us a quick rundown. I think everybody, perhaps with the exception of maybe Travis Johnson, I think everybody, based on the finish orders in 3A and 3B, I think everybody's still got a good shot at making it into the final.
Well, it's been a great day of virtual racing here at the Home Street Bank Cup at Seafair. Currently on top in points with 670 is our national point leader, Eddie Canfouche, in the Bucket List KISW Miss Rock with 670. DJ Miller having a great day in second with 630 in the Botano Homes. Kelsey Best in third in the Home Street Bank with 619. Scott Przbilski in fourth with 607 in the Delta Real Track. Tim Johnson, 555 points in the Goodman Real Estate. A good consistent day for Jeff DeWalt, sixth in points with 480 in the Spirit of Detroit 2. Cy Bowen recently turned 18 years of age. He is in seventh in the Griggs Presents Miss Ace Hardware with 452. Quentin Miller, eighth in points with 430, followed by Bo Rarig, Mickey Washburn, Matt Johnson, and Travis Johnson. That's our top 12. Add some of these guys 7th through 11th with a good finish in the third section, and those above them with a bad finish, they can move right up into the top 6. 3A and 3B, lots on the line for the virtual Home Street Bank Cup at Seafair. I'm ready.
Yeah, I am ready too, and there is an awful lot on the line. I noticed on there, I've been talking a lot about Cy Bowen today. He's our top qualifier coming into the event today, and if we were going to a final heat right now, Cy Bowen would be the alternate. He would be on the outside looking in. Look for Cy to have a good run. He is going to be in our Heat 3B. But right now, it's Heat 3A. It's the 2020 Home Street Bank Cup at Seafair H1 Unlimited E-League Racing Series presented by Staples. And we are coming up on 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 mark. 5:05, Jeff Ayler, to the start of our Heat 3A. We started with 12 boats. We still got 12 boats running. It makes for a wild and woolly first turn. And man, have we seen a lot of action down there so far today. And with what we were just talking about from a point standpoint, with a lot on the line just about for all of these boats, and as tightly grouped as everybody is point-wise, they're going to be driving hard. Don't take your eye off that first turn. 6 boats away from the dock on the Ted Jones Racecourse.
Everybody's left the dock. We'll go through the lineup for you here in the warm-up period. On board with Matt Johnson in the 98 Graham Trucking American Dream. Matt Johnson, 2 fourth-place finishes on the day. Ride with Mickey Washburn in the 21. Darryl Strom presents Payne West Insurance. Mickey as well, 2 fourth-place finishes today. Third entrant, Eddie Canfish on top in points with 670 in the 99.9. Bucket List KISW Miss Rock. Eddie, 2 second-place finishes so far on the day. Fourth entrant in 3A, a good day going for DJ Miller in the Boitano Homes. 2 second-place finishes for DJ today. Entrant, Scott Przybylski in the Delta Real Track, the number 9. Scott a 5th and a 1st so far on the afternoon. And our final entrant, the Tennessee Orange, Bo Rarick, the 440, a 4th and a 3rd. Brad, there's our 6 entrants. We're 3 minutes and 15 seconds until the start. The top 6 in points after the 3rd section will make up the front row of the virtual Home Street Bank Cup at Seafair. We will run a consolation heat today. The winner of that heat will be the trailer boat for the 7-boat final. The first 4 heats have been interesting. They've been exciting. Right now, if you're in the top 6 position in points, no mistakes. You want to finish well. But, Brad, that's why it's racing. We don't run them on paper.
No, we do not. And there's going to be an awful lot of Tennessee Orange in this one. We just saw one of the boats go by. That was Bo Rarick. There you're looking at the 99.9 of Fast Eddie Canfouche. And there's your parking start. The world's fastest race boats stopped, not moving at all. But that's what this start procedure does. And boy, they've still got a lot of time to kill. 2 minutes and 15 seconds. And look at the move there that just went on by Matt Johnson as he went over and jumped in front of it. He may go all the way to the buoy row here. He's the first boat there. Meanwhile, Bo Rarick, he's going to go by everybody with a lot of boat speed. See if he can draw anybody up into that corner with him. Doesn't look like anybody's coming. Bo will go around one more time. Inside 2 minutes, Jeff Ayler. 2 minutes to the start of Heat 3A.
And Brad, Matt Johnson that made that move in the red, white, and blue 98, he's 11th in points with 368. Mickey Washburn is in here as well. He's 10th in points with 378. And Bo Rarick, 9th in points in this heat with 424. They'd love to be in that first or second place position to see what happens going into 3B, and it is a parking lot in the final turn on the virtual Ted Jones Racecourse in Seattle. Brad, that was your spot in the background for many years, going down the historic Lake Washington. Watched the hydroplanes on Lake Washington for many years, and now the pace picks up as we're coming up on that 1 minute mark. Johnson and 1, Matt Johnson coming up on the 1 minute period. Everyone appears to be in good position, and it appears to be legal at the 1 minute mark. Good score up. Scott Przybylski on the throttle first. But, Brad, does he have enough real estate to leapfrog? I don't think he does. Yes, he will.
But he's coming over. Oh boy, and it looks like it was a legal maneuver, and what that's going to do is put Eddie Canfouche out into lane number 5. He got jumped on that one. Keep an eye on Matt Johnson, the boat on the inside, the red, white, and blue. You mentioned he was 11th in points. He has almost been eliminated. He can be very, very dangerous in this heat because he has no reason to hold back. It's a go for broke heat for Matt Johnson. He's on the inside in the 98. We are looking at 13 seconds until the start. Jeff Ayler, bring him down. Start our Heat 3A.
They come to the line. Coming from the back is Bo Rarig on the outside. We're 3, 2, 1. Mark, it's a clean start. We're racing in 3A here at the virtual Home Street Bank Cup at Seafair. We look to the right-hand side of the screen. Mickey Washburn with a slight lead in the 21, but to his left is Matt Johnson in the Graham Trucking American Dream, and they're side by side off turn number 1. Brad, it's Johnson to the buoys, and now Washburn pulls out in front by a boat lane.
Washburn really held him tight at the exit pin down there in the lower corner, but Johnson was able to navigate it and get through. Now it's tight up there at the top end, and I think Matt just hit a buoy. Matt just hit a buoy. You saw it in the background go up in the air. That's going to cost him a lap. Oh, and we are being told now, Jeff Ayler, that Mickey Washburn has jumped the gun. He has jumped the gun, so your leader, I believe, is on the outside, Fast Eddie Canfouche.
Eddie Canfouche capitalizes on the mistakes. He started out in lane number 5. He is your leader, but he's got company on the inside. That is DJ Miller and Boitano Holmes. And now they're side by side for first. Off turn number 1. Brad, we're halfway through it. Fast Eddie appeared to be out of it. He's in front.
He is in front, but he has really got company. The boat out front, Mickey Washburn, the white boat with the black checkers, appears to be your leader. He is not. He is a lap down for having jumped the start. And Scott Przbilski, we are being told, has flipped on the course at another part of the race course. Right there on your screen, that is the boat race. It is between the boat in second. That is Fast Eddie Canfouche on the outside, and he is trying to hold off a hard-charging DJ Miller just to his left and on the inside, Jeff. 2 in the books, 1 to go.
Coincidentally, these are your top 2 boats and points in the Seafair race here today. They run 1, 2, and 3A. Off the turn, it's Canfouche in front. Brad, half a lap to go. Your points leader in front, looking for 400 more.
Boy, look at him go. Now, this is a tough spot for him to be in with Mickey out there in front. We'll see what kind of a line Eddie wants to take through the corner. He stays just to the outside of Mickey. He's making it as tough as he can on the inside there for DJ Miller. It looks like Fast Eddie's going to pick up 400 more. He swings out, finding clean water. Bring him home, Jeff.
Record flag waving. Eddie Canfouche will accepted 400 points in the 99.9 bucket list KISW Miss Rock. And second, when the boy Holmes, second place to DJ Miller. It appears that Bo Rarig will come across in third in the bucket list racing. We do have one call that is under review, so we'll hold on that. But Brad, unofficially, Eddie Canfouche, your winner in the bucket list KISW Miss Rock. He looked to be completely out of it at about the 30-second mark, and penalties and lane infractions and other miscues vaulted him up to the front. He started in lane 5. He gets 400 big points.
Yeah, he got leapfrogged by 2 boats during the 1 minute period up the backstretch. And you're right, it shoved him out to lane number 5, dealt him a tough hand, but then he was able to negotiate the start line with a lot of boat speed and clean water despite being on the outside, but he had to let Mickey Washburn go. Mickey ended up jumping the start. Eddie had to stay true. We're being told in my ear now, there is no call on the race course beyond what we have already mentioned to you. So it is official now. Our winner, Eddie Canfouche in the 99.9 bucket list KISW Miss Rock, a great run. And what I was starting to say there, Jeff, was Mickey Washburn was out in front of him at the start. Eddie had to stay true to his own timing marks and let him go, knowing he was right and Mickey was wrong.
Boy, another great heat on the virtual E-League racing provided by H1 Unlimited. here at the Home Street Bank Cup at Seafair. And Brad, it is fun. I thought it would be fun when I came out today to help you announce it. And it's proven to my point when I was thinking about this race, driving out and throughout the week, 12 bucks. It's been very interesting, and it's going to be an interesting final. But we still got a 3B to run.
We do still have a Heat 3B to run, and gives us a quick opportunity here while we wait for Fast Eddie to come up and join us. I know we've got some watch parties going on across the country. We've heard from a bunch of them today. There's one in particular in Edmond, Oklahoma. I want to say hi to that group. They've been watching us along the way all season long. They have the big watch party. So thanks for being with us. Hope you're enjoying the show. This is what it's like to have 6-boat fields. It is wild and woolly, especially when they hit that first turn. We're getting some word from the officials now that are talking in our ear. We are doing our best to listen. So we have a little bit of an issue that the officials are dealing with, has to do with timing, has nothing to do with calls. I believe, Jeff Ayler, what we had there is the calls were made earlier. It was under review. There were no additional calls. So our first place finisher was Eddie Canfouche in the 99.9 bucket list KIS WMS Rock. Second place to DJ Miller driving the 7, the boy Tano Holmes, and third place to Bo Rerig in the 440 bucket list racing. Good heat there for the team up north of Seattle on the bright orange race team. They pick up a first and a third. We're going to get a hold of Mr. Canfouche here momentarily. We're just waiting on one piece to the puzzle from our officials.
Brad, I had Matt Johnson in the 4th position in 3A, Mickey Washburn in the 5th position, and I'm showing Scott Przybylski as a did not finish in 3A. So 3A once again in order: Eddie Canfouche, DJ Miller, Bo Rerig, Matt Johnson, Mickey Washburn, and Scott Przybylski with the did not finish. And Fast Eddie right now, Brad, on top in points, 1,070, and boy, his national point lead, depending on what happens in the final heat in 3B going into San Diego, he could be in a prime spot to get a national title in the H1 E-League division for our race drivers.
Yeah, we said that at the outset. He was our high points leader coming into the day with about a 700-point lead over the second place boat, and he has done nothing but increase that lead so far today. So it has been a good day, but the key words there, Jeff, as you know all too well, the key words are so far. He's obviously going to be in the final. He will be on an inside lane. But anything can happen, as we have seen. The wild and woolly first turn today, it's lived up to its name on the Ted Jones Racecourse. Now we're hearing something of a potential change. So we're going to go a little bit quiet here so we can listen to the officials. Wow. Okay, I know nobody heard that except Jeff Ayler and myself, and I say wow, and everybody's kind of wondering. Jeff, I think I got that right, but Mickey Washburn was assessed a 1-lap penalty for jumping the start in our Heat 3A. We have just heard from the officials that the timing system that they were looking at apparently affected the timing of that start. Bottom line, Mickey Washburn was legal and therefore is the winner of our Heat 3A. How about that?
Well, Brad, going by memory, I remember saying it looked like the start was good, and then they came with the penalty. They've recorrected it, so now 3A, by my markings, has Mickey Washburn in first, Eddie Canfouche in second, DJ Miller in third, Bo Rerig in fourth, Matt Johnson in the 5th position, and Scott Przybylski with an F. And Brad, take it away. You got Mickey Washburn.
I think I do, and we made Mickey sweat it out a little bit there on the dock a little bit. Mickey, can you hear me? Brad Luce here. Can you hear me? I barely got you. We have a little. Oh, there he is. There it is. Mickey, we made you wait there a little bit on that one. We were initially told during the heat you had jumped the start. Now we are told that there was an issue with some of the timing equipment. At the end of the day, you were legal, and you're our winner of our Heat 3A. Number one, congratulations. Number two, did you think you were legal at the start?
I knew it was close, but I was sure hoping I was right on the money.
Well, I always say when watching races like this, when it takes the officials that long, man, you must have nailed it. You
Yeah.
must have been right on it.
Yeah, I've been hitting my starts today. Finally got some luck go my way that heat.
Well, and you had your hands full in that heat. You made a nice move before the start. You were able to get an inside lane, not the inside, but you were able to get yourself into lane number two. It's really important with this much speed out there to be on an inside line, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it's so hard to get that inside line too. These guys.
Yeah, you guys fight pretty hard for it down there. Sometimes it's this park and start thing is interesting to watch, and we get some great camera angles. I know you see them too from up above, and it always seems a little bit ironic. We're talking about the fastest race boats in the world, and you guys are sitting there parked. But it makes for a very good show. You had a very good heat. I'm glad it worked out for you the way you had hoped. You went from a 5th place finish to a 1st place finish based on a terrific start. Congratulations. You will be on the front row of that final, I believe. Congratulations. We'll look for you later on.
Thanks, and I gotta thank Daryl Strong and presents Payne West Insurance and Staples and Atomic Screen Printing, Jesse Stitches, and Spokane Angels Foster Care. Thanks for everything they're doing.
It really is important, isn't it? Without them, we don't race.
Nope.
So, and without you, we don't race either. Great show. Go get ready. We'll see you later on. Now the big stuff starts happening.
Thanks.
Mickey Washburn, driver of the Daryl Strong, presents Payne West Insurance. Mickey, the 41-year-old out of the Tri-Cities where Daryl Strong and Payne West is based, only seems right that he would carry that sponsorship on his boat. And Jeff Ayler, he must have wired that start if it was that close and they had to look that long at it.
It was close from my memory. And Brad, before the miscue, Mickey had 547 points. After the correction, he is in 3rd right now with 778. So that was big for the 21 camp, the virtual owners, the O'Farrell family out of the Pacific Northwest. And boy, it'll be a party if the Daryl Strong presents Payne West Insurance wins the virtual Home Street Bank Cup at Seafair.
So it sounds like Eddie Canfouche, as a result of his 2nd place finish in Heat 3A, and DJ Miller, as a result of his 3rd place finish. I believe both of those two drivers are now locked into the final. So I mentioned Mickey Washburn was going to be on that front row. It looks good for him, but he hasn't got it locked up just yet. Going to depend on Heat 3B. And instead of talking about it, Jeff, I'm ready to go racing. Let's see what happens. And the officials say in our ears, it's time for a countdown. We will have it for you. We are 3 seconds, 2, 1, mark. 5:05 to the start of our Heat 3B. Jeff Ayler, this is the last opportunity for any boats to earn points and get into that final. Keep an eye. I keep saying Cy Bowen. I've been on his bandwagon all day. He's had an up and down day, starting with an up when he was our top qualifier, and then he followed it up with a heat victory, a 3rd place finish in our Heat 1A. But now he needs points. Keep an eye on Cy Bowen, see if he can get another inside lane. He got it last time, but he was tardy at the start. If he can wire it, he might be tough to beat. Jeff Ayler, give us our rundown. It is Heat 3B of the 2020 Home Street Bank Cup at Seafair.
Thank you very much, Brad Luce, on board with Kelsey Best, a native of the Pacific Northwest, now resides in Mesa, Arizona. He is in the home street, the number 6, Kelsey on the day. 1 win, 1 fourth. Second entrant, the Virtual Turbinator. Cy Bowen out of Plymouth, Indiana, driving the Griggs, presents Miss Ace Hardware. Cy was our top qualifier, but he has a 3rd and a 5th. He needs a win or a 2nd to get on that front row of the final. Work to do. On board the Goodman Real Estate, Tim Johnson. has a 6th and a 1st on the day, and Brad, he needs a good finish as well to crack that top 6 in points after 3B. Fourth entrant, our second gold and black craft in this heat, having a steady day, Jeff DeWalt out of Warren, Michigan, in the Spirit of Detroit 2, the number 10. Jeff on the day, 2 third-place finishes. Fifth entrant, Travis Johnson, not having the best of days in the Chartreuse and Carnival Orange J&Ds. Travis a DSQ and a DNS, wanting to gain some confidence here in 3B to go the consolation heat. Final entrant, local sponsor, Graham Trucking, Quentin Miller, our winner at Guntersville earlier this year. In the Graham Trucking, Quentin on the day, a first place and a DSQ. Brad, he needs to win and needs a little bit of help to crack that top. And we just got word that Jeff DeWalt had a blowover in the warm-up period, and Brad, that is taking him out of 3B, and that's critical because he was 6th in points coming into the third section. Looks like he'll go to the consolation. 2:15 until the start.
Yeah, that is a tough break for Jeff DeWalt, and that's going to help out some of these other boats that you were just talking about, specifically Cy Bowen, Quentin Miller. Quentin Miller really needs a good showing in this one. We saw him. We were on board with him coming down the front straightaway there as he was trying to position himself to an inside lane. We are inside 2 minutes until the start of our Heat 3B. It's the last opportunity for these boats to garner points before the final. And the jockeying for position is underway, watching Travis Johnson there. Now look at that little parking lot maneuver going on down there. Wow. Tim Johnson sitting there in lane number 1. Cy Bowen is in 2. I believe that is Quentin Miller that is on the outside, and he is going to vacate the area and get out of there with 1:25 until the start. Watch Quentin. He'll go around the corner, and then he'll come right across the race course and jump in behind these guys. Here comes Kelsey Best down to the lower corner. 15 seconds until the 1 minute mark, Jeff. Bring him to the buoy.
So Tim Johnson on the buoy row right now in the 91 with Cy Bowen to his right. Here comes Kelsey Best up. Our lane 3 sequence. We're approaching the 1 minute period. 1 minute is coming. Clean score up. And Quentin Miller, who left early, Brad, he is out in front. Lots of power, and here comes that leapfrog. He's going to get lane 1, maybe.
Maybe. He's already jumped 2 lanes. He just jumped to the inside. Man, that is close. That is really close. I thought before they got to the exit pin of turn 1, I thought he might jump inside Kelsey Best in the home street, but he didn't. He went around on the outside, but he was able to leapfrog. We are hearing from the officials it is all clean. So Quentin Miller with a whale of a move to get the inside lane. We're inside 20 seconds to the start. This one is all important. Watch Quentin Miller. He needs points. He's in 1. Keep an eye on Cy Bowen. He needs points. He's in 3. 10 seconds, Jeff. Start our Heat 3B.
It's the virtual 3B. Tim Johnson getting on that throttle on the 91. There is the start. We're racing. Boy, it's going to be close, Brad, right at 0. It is a clean start by our officials as they go into the south turn the first time around. Quentin Miller in front on the buoy row and Graham Trucking. Tim Johnson had problems in lane 2. It's Miller in front, Cy Bowen in the second position, and Brad lane 1 proving valuable here for Quentin Miller.
Quentin Miller has done everything perfect in this heat. He made a tremendous move and leapfrog to get the inside lane. And when the clock struck 0, that U12 Graham Trucking shot past the field like he came out of a cannon. That is the reason he's got the lead right now. The inside lane position and a great start. But look at the red boat on the outside. Cy Bowen giving it everything that he's got. This one's not over, Jeff.
1 complete, 2 to go. Quentin Miller in front to your right. Puts it on the hook in turn number 1. Cy Bowen driving a dandy in second in the Griggs. And we got some triple-decker action back in third between Johnson, Best, and Johnson. Brad, we're halfway through it. Quentin Miller in front, and look at Cy Bowen fly that Turbinator.
He had the front end of that U3 up and out of the water. Look at that view right there. It looks like one boat. There are two, and they are both red. You got the piston power on the outside, turbine power on the inside. They're going to come off the top end of the race course. Quentin Miller's going to have a very short lead over Cy Bowen. Cy is sniffing 400 points. He wants them, Jeff.
2 complete, 1 to go. Quentin Miller in front, but Bowen not giving up on the outside, and the Griggs presents Miss Ace Hardware. He tightens it up. Final lap, and Bowen hit a hole there. Looked like he popped the left sponson and up recovered. This is your battle for the lead in 3B. Miller in front. We go on board with Bowen. Brad, a half a lap to go. Can the virtual Turbinator get there?
Great view right here. You're going to go on board with Cy Bowen through the top end of the race course. Watch him suck in right alongside Quentin Miller. There he is, really close together. He's trying to drive as short a course as he can without getting caught in the rooster tail of Quentin Miller. I don't know if he's going to be able to run him down, but if he's got some of that shoot speed we saw earlier, better play it now. Bring him home, Jeff.
Streaking to the finish. Bowen tighten it up. There's the start-finish line buoy. Heater.
It might have, where the officials are asking who has won, Jeff. We don't know. Wow, Quentin Miller, Jeff Ayler. Quentin Miller on the inside apparently was the victor, and it must have been by a coat of red paint, Jeff, because that was really close. I think you got your heater.
Brad, that was awesome. Chelsea Best will get third in the home street. Tim Johnson fourth in the Goodman Real Estate. Travis Johnson in fifth in J&D's. And Brad, I think that's our second potential heater so far in virtual racing in 2020. Cy Bowen not giving up, but Quentin Miller wins it. Let's go with a half a coat of Budweiser red paint.
Half a coat of Budweiser red, and I think we're going to get an opportunity to talk to our second place finisher, Cy Bowen, who just came through with that incredible second place finish. Cy, can you hear me? And if you can, did you think you got him?
Oh, I definitely thought I did. I had a lot of boat speed on the outside.
You really did. You came off the top end of the race course, and we shifted camera angles. So through the top end of the course on that last corner, we were riding on board with you. So we got to see just how close you got side by side with Quentin coming off the corner. And then from that view, we just kept seeing you get closer and closer. You only needed one more buoy length.
Yeah, I was hoping that I was trying to go for the win just so I can have a for sure spot in the final. Hopefully this will get me into it.
Well, apparently, we're taking a look at the finish right now, and it is really, really close. That looks like less than half a sponson. So what a show. You've had an up and down day, starting with the top qualifier position, but it looks like you're going to end the preliminaries on a good, solid note. And I think you sent notice to everybody, your boat is really fast. If you get into the final, you're going to have some fun.
Oh, absolutely. I'm really excited for it.
And I know you would love it, but what would it mean for your sponsors and your team to win the Seattle Seafair?
Oh, it'll mean a lot to all of us, including the Dritch family, the Ace Hardware, and Ed and Barb Cooper. I know that they're all pushing for me and really hoping to come out of here with the win.
Cy, I got news for you. Half of the Unlimited Racing public is rooting for you. They still love that piston power, and you're doing them proud. Great job, great race, great finish. Good luck in the final, young man.
Thank you.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Cy Bowen with that dramatic second place finish, and he really made a run, Jeff. That was something special.
Well, he's on the front row. He's sixth in points with 752, so he transfers to the final. Your front row of the final will be Eddie Canfush, DJ Miller, Kelsey Best, Quentin Miller, Mickey Washburn, and Cy Bowen in that sixth spot. And, Brad, we still got a consolation coming up. The winner of it will be the trailer. And the way today is going, the trailer win the virtual Home Street Bank Cup at Seafair. Would not be surprised.
No, nothing would be a surprise with what we've seen not only today, but what we have seen this year. The H1 Unlimited E-League Racing Series would like to thank our sponsors, specifically Jesse Stitches and Woodshed Embroidery. Also like to thank the folks there in Kennewick, Washington at Atomic Screen Printing. If you're wearing a hydroplane racing shirt today, chances are it came from Atomic Screen Printing. Angels Foster Care Community in Spokane, Seattle, and to the west of Seattle on the Olympic Peninsula, the Angel Foster Care Community, where they wrap community around children and families. And Staples. Staples has been an integral part of our racing all season long. Staples, your one-stop shop for all your home office needs. And with so many people working from home these days, Jeff Ayler, I know I used to just go down to the office supply bin and get whatever I wanted, whether it was pens or paper or whatever I want. I do that in my own home. There's nothing there. So you got to make a quick run to Staples. They've got everything you need down there. Go down and see them at Staples in Spokane, Moses Lake, or Linwood. Thank you to our sponsors, and I think it is time now. Let's rack up this consolation, and let's find out who's going to be the trailer boat. It'll be boat number 7 in our final heat, and they will start 5 seconds behind the field. A tough place to be, but as Jeff Ayler just said, with what we've seen today, I wouldn't count anybody out. So let's run it, Jeff. Here we are with the countdown. We're 3 seconds, 2, 1, mark. 5:05, Jeff Ayler, to our consolation race at the 2020 Home Street Bank Cup at Seafair. It is the H1 Unlimited E-League Racing Series presented by Staples. It has not in any way, shape, or form disappointed us today. And they call this a consolation. I call it what looks like a really good heat on paper, Jeff. This could be as good as anything we've seen all day long.
Provisional heat, boats make their way out. We'll ID the participants for you. We go on board with our first boat. There is Tim Johnson in the Goodman Real Estate. Him out of Richland, Washington, comes in here with a 6th, a 1st, and a 4th. He's a heat winner today. He's in the provisional. Our second entrant in the provisional heat, we go on board with Matt Johnson in the U98 Ram Trucking American Dream. Matt out of Renton, Washington. On the day, 2 4th-place finishes and 1 5th. Third entrant in the provisional, Travis Johnson out of Madison, Indiana, in the Chartreuse and Carnival Orange JNDs. Not been Travis's day at DSQ, a DNS, and a 5th. He would love to win to make the final. On board with Scott Przybylski out of San Diego, California, in the U9 Delta Real Track. Scott today, a DNF, a 5th, and Brad, another heat winner today, going into the provisional. On board, Jeff DeWalt. He was having a steady day out of Warren, Michigan, in the number 10 Spirit of Detroit 2. 2 third-place finishes, and it did not start. And our final entrant, Bo Rarig in the Tennessee Orange Bucket List Racing. Bo hails out of Monroe, Washington. Bo on the day 1/3, 2 4ths, 2 minutes and 50 seconds until the start. Brad, it's the provisional. It doesn't matter. I expect action. I expect it to be heavy. The winner will be the trailer in the final. We're 2 minutes and 35 seconds away. This should be fun.
This should be a lot of fun. And Jeff Ayler, one of the things, as you know, that I like to do before we go to a heat of racing is after you run down the boats and the numbers and the sponsors and the drivers, I like to quickly recap that with a quick rundown of all the drivers by their last names. I'm not sure that works real well in this heat because we'd have Rarig, DeWalt, Przybylski, Johnson, and Johnson. So if your name's Johnson, you got half the field covered here for this one. And again, as we were saying, just as the boats came out, just because this is a consolation or a provisional or whatever name you want to give it that makes it sound unimportant, this could be a terrific heat of racing. As you said, we have 2 heat winners in this one. So it's going to be good.
Should be good if you're a Johnson & Johnson stockholder. The market's not open today, but I hope you own it, and I hope it does well for you on Monday when the bell rings.
There we go. All right, coming up on 1:30 until our start. 1:30. Looks like our game creator, Scott Przybylski, is saying, I would like to have lane 1 here, but a lot can still happen. Jeff Ayler, bring him to the 1-minute buoy at 1:20.
This should be fun. The winner of the provisional will be the trailer of the final heat. Virtual Street Bank Cup at Seafair. We got a couple of them coming up from behind with a bunch of speed, and here they come. Gotta be behind that exit pin at 1 minute. Everybody appears to be legal. Matt Johnson, Travis Johnson, their strategy. Oh, we got some action there. Both here got a control. He got tangled with Matt Johnson, and Brad, we looked at the inside, and it looks like Scott Przybylski will get 1, Tim Johnson in 2.
Yeah, Tim had ideas about moving over on Scott, get lane 1, but Scott Przybylski did a nice job of defending his lane there. He held lane 1 all the way up the backstretch, and there was not enough room for Tim Johnson to move over on him. Therefore, the lanes are set. Checking my watch here, I've got 20 seconds until the start. It's a little bit longer run off this exit pin down to the start. Watch Mr. Przybylski. He is in lane number 1. Lane number 2 is going to be Tim Johnson. Then it's going to be Matt in 3. And then in lane number 4, Travis, 5 seconds. Jeff, start our provisional.
Our final heat race of the afternoon. We come to the line. It appears to be a clean start. We're racing in the provisional, and here they come flying into the south turn. Matt Johnson in lane number 3, your leader in the Graham Trucking American Dream. This angle, and now Matt Johnson in front. Tim Johnson in the 2nd position. Scott Przybylski, Travis Johnson battling for 3rd. Brad, Matt Johnson in front. He's looking to get to the final heat.
He is looking to get to the final heat, and this is going to be a tall order to hold off the speed to his left. But so far, he's able to do it. He's running in lane number 3. He's got about a 2-boat length lead at the top end of the race course, but he's got a lot of speed off to his left. They're going to be virtually dead even when they come off to come down and complete lap number 1, Jeff. This is a good one.
One of the provisional in the books. It's the 98 in front of Matt Johnson. Tim Johnson in the 91 in 2nd. Scott Przybylski in the 9 in 3rd. I expect a triple decker here in turn number 1. And Brad, we're just about to go. And Tim Johnson hooked, and Przybylski made it through clean. What an amazing feat. We're halfway through the provisional. Matt and Brad, Scott Przybylski hanging on in 2nd. How did he get through?
I have no idea how he got through that. He's got a story to tell when he gets back. The officials have whispered in my ear that last turn down at the lower end of the race course, turn 1 on lap 2, is under review, but we'll keep calling them like they are. Your triple decker became a double decker, but it's still a darn good one, Jeff. Coming down to put 2 in the books.
White flag displayed, 1 to go. Matt Johnson looking to hang on to transfer to the final, but 2 more miles to go. They come into the south turn, the red, white, and blue in front, but Scott Przybylski battling hard on the inside in the Delta Real track. Travis Johnson in 3rd. Off the turn, Brad, half a lap to go. Can the red, white, and blue hang on to go to the final?
Matt Johnson, driving the 98 Graham Trucking American Dream, has shown some incredible speed on the H1 Unlimited E-League Racing Series this year, but he's showing it better now than he ever has. He is holding off a very fast boat number 9 and Scott Przybylski, and he's doing it on the outside. Can he hold him off? Jeff, bring him down.
Time is running out for Przybylski. Can Johnson hang on? There's the start-finish line buoy, and Matt Johnson and Graham Trucking American Dream wins the provisional. He'll be your trailer boat for the final heat. Unofficial results according to our officials. So write them down in pencil. Matt Johnson appears to be your winner in the 98. Scott Przybylski 2nd in the 9. Travis Johnson 3rd in the number 11 you see right below our screen here. And Brad, Tim Johnson had the bad break in the south turn, working the 2nd lap. And how did Scott Przybylski get through there? I would love to see the onboard camera of that. It was a boat and then water, and everything cleared quickly.
Yeah, I think he must have closed his eyes at some point and waited for a big thump and was darn happy when it never came. To see him come out of that corner clean was nothing short of amazing. It's a wild first turn down there, and the officials are going to take a long look at that corner and make sure everything was clean. I'm going to put my nickel out there and say, I bet it was, but we'll wait for them. They've got the luxury of instant replay. How that calls go, or if there are any calls.
Still under review, and Brad, in the heat of the moment, by my memory, reason for the review, I believe, would be for the 98, our unofficial winner. I believe they're checking to see maybe if he encroached a little. Clean heat. So Matt Johnson is the winner, Brad. He goes to the winner take all final heat of the virtual Home Street Bank Cup at Seafair. He's in it, but he's the trailer. We've seen it done before in real H1 Unlimited Racing. Mike Hansen won from the trailer position at the San Diego, California race in 1993 in the Kellogg's Frosted Flakes.
Well, I made a comment there just before we got the official word that I had a nickel that said that was going to be legal down there. I didn't tell you this part. That bet was with you, Jeff, so you owe me 5 cents.
I'll get her to you.
I want to take this opportunity just while we have a moment here, while we wait for Matt to get up here and join us, and mention that the H1 Unlimited Racing Organization is a proud club of the American Powerboat Association. The American Powerboat Association is the national authority for boat racing in the U.S. The APBA is a member-driven organization established in 1903 and headquartered in East Point, Michigan. For more information on the American Powerboat Association or to become a member of the APBA, go to www.apba.org. That is www.apba.org, the American Powerboat Association. I always like reading that, Jeff, because they were established in 1903. Our first Gold Cup race was held in 1904, so they went right to work and put a Gold Cup race on. I look here in the announcer's booth, Jeff Ayler, and it looks like we have Matt Johnson in here with us. Matt, congratulations. That was a tough heat.
Thank you. Yeah, that's it's never easy to win, and it's harder to do it from the outside. But I mean, got to thank Staples, Atomic Screen Printing, Jesse Stitches, the Spokane Angels, Home Street Bank, Graham Trucking. Like, I can't thank those guys enough for sponsoring this and allowing us to, keep doing this. So really appreciate that.
Matt, there was some discussion amongst the officials after the heat was over that potentially there was a call to be made and that the heat was under review, specifically down there in turn 1. Did you feel like you were legal down there, and what did you see?
I did everything I thought was necessary to, hold lane 3 and make it through there clean. So I didn't see anything what happened behind. So I might have to buy my brother a beer or something to make up for that. But
yeah, sorry, bro. It's just the way it goes. There you go. So this is apparent. We just had it whispered in our ear that this is not uncharted territory for you. You have apparently won on this race course from the trailer position before. Is that true?
I have. Yeah, it was a bit of a perfect storm for me to be able to do that. So I don't expect that to happen again today, but I will definitely be trying my best to make it happen again.
So nothing short of 4 blowovers and 2 DSQs. And
yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, you guys have had a great day. The racing has just been fabulous. I'm sure the fans around the country are enjoying it. I know Jeff Ayler and myself are having a ball calling it. It looks like and sounds like you guys must be having a lot of fun. Thank you from all of us as fans for putting on such a great show. And albeit from the trailer position, good luck in the final. Never say never, never say die. Go get them, Matt.
All right, thanks. I appreciate it, guys.
Matt Johnson, driver of the 98, the Graham Trucking presents American Dream. And, he talks about winning here, Jeff Ayler, before on this Seattle Ted Jones race course. So he knows how to do it. He knows what has to happen to get it done. And winning at Seafair is always something special. Seafair, a couple of notes about that. For Seafair is obviously having a difficult time this year, as most everybody is, thanks to the COVID. But for generations, Seafair has been creating memories for people of all ages. But sponsorship and ticket sales are not enough to cover the costs of producing a multi-week and even multi-month festival that touches over 2 million people each year. With all Seafair events canceled this year, they are in desperate need of your support to help this iconic organization to continue to create memories and unite communities for generations to come. To make a tax-deductible donation, simply go to seafair.org, that's seafair.org, and click on the gold donate button and discover the many Seafair gifts that are available as a thank you for your support, including a special collector's edition 2020 gold pin. Seafair has created 50 numbered gold pins to celebrate 70 years of hydroplane racing in Seattle as a fundraiser for the festival. To help support Seafair in 2021 and beyond, they need your support. And Jeff Ayler, we talk about Seafair, and I know you're from Indiana. I'm from right here in Seattle. Seafair has been such an important part of my summertime fun since I was, well, even since before I remember. And the fact that they touch over 2 million people now is something amazing. We need Seafair to continue into the future. Go to seafair.org and find out how you can help. All right, Jeff Ayler, I think we've got the rundown of the boats and the points for the final. Why don't you run them through? Who's going to be on the front row of that final? We know where Matt Johnson's going to be, but who are the 6 he will be chasing?
Got a slight delay here. We apologize for that before we get to our final heat here at the virtual Home Street Bank Cup at Seafair. On top in points right now, Brad, I have Eddie Canfouche on top in the 99.9 bucket list. KISW Miss Rock with 970 points. In the second position, having a good day, is DJ Miller in the number 7 Boitano Homes with 855 points. Also in the final heat, Cy Bowen came in here 6th in points in the Griggs Presents Miss Ace Hardware. And Brad, the other 3 participants here in the final heat, we have Kelsey Best. I believe he transferred in the Miss Home Street. Let me get to my other sheet here, my friend. You might have to take it over here.
It's okay. We can do this by the process of elimination. We should also have Quentin Miller, and I believe Mickey Washburn should find his way in there. So the
Mickey is in there as well. And the Daryl Strong Presents Payne West Insurance. And boy, Brad, Mickey squeaked his way into the final heat when we went back to that 3A activity. He appeared to be a gun jumper in 3A, finished 5th in the heat. He was actually the physical winner. And when they reviewed it, there was a timing issue with the game. And then he vaulted up into the first place position. So he made the front row of the final heat, Mickey Washburn, in the number 21, Daryl Strong Presents Payne West Insurance.
Yeah, Jeff, I have got the official list in front of me right now. I'll run it down pretty quick. Eddie Canfouche, as you said, 970 points. He is in the final, along with DJ Miller, driving the 7. Kelsey Best driving the 6, the Home Street, with 844 points. Quentin Miller driving the 12, the Graham Trucking, with 830 points. Mickey Washburn driving the 21, the Daryl Strong Presents Payne West Insurance. Mickey's in the final with 778. And rounding out our front row, boat number 3, the Bright Red Piston Packer Cy Bowen in the Griggs Presents Ace Hardware. So Canfouche, Miller, Best, Miller, Washburn, and Bowen. There's your final. And we apologize, Jeff and I do, to those of you listening out there. We kind of had to do that blind a little bit. And we're doing it by the process of elimination on who was in the consolation and who was not, until somebody kindly came over and stuck a computer screen in front of my face. Thank you very much.
I found my note once you got started. I found the 6 that were in. I just didn't have the tallies added up, but I did have it, and you were correct as usual, Johnny, on the spot, and appreciate that. We hope to get this technical glitch cleared up here momentarily before we go back to the virtual Home Street Bank Cup at Seafair. Brad, I had a friend of ours earlier this week, one of our female participants in the sport. We've not seen her in a few years, but Ginger Jackson with the Our Gang Racing Team. Ginger was going to tune in today. Hope she is, and want to say hello to her up in the Chicago area. And we miss seeing her on the tour, Brad, with that 17 camp.
Yeah, we certainly do. So, Ginger, if you are listening, a heartfelt hello from us and so many of your friends on the H1 Unlimited circuit. We do miss you, and let's hope we get to see you on the circuit somewhere in 2021. I think we're getting ready for a countdown here for our final heat. We are inside 5 seconds. We are 3 seconds, 2, 1. Mark. 5:05 to the start of our winner-take-all final heat, Jeff Ayler. It's the Home Street Bank Cup at Seafair. 2 big differences in this heat versus our preliminaries. First and foremost, we're going to go 5 times around the race course, not just 3. So the water's going to get rougher. There's a lot more time for something to happen, for boats to make moves and pass, et cetera, et cetera. And also, we've been talking about how rough it's been getting and how congested it's been getting with 6 boats on the water. Just to make it more fun, we've got 7 this time. It's going to be good. It's a winner-take-all final. Run down our boats that are going to run for the 2020 Home Street Bank Cup at Seafair, Jeff Ayler.
Thank you, Brad Luce, on board with our regatta sponsor, Kelsey Best, 33 years of age, out of Mesa, Arizona, in the Miss Home Street, the U6. Kelsey on the day, 1 win, a 3rd, and a 4th. On board the virtual Turbinator, Cy Bowen, 18 years of age, out of Plymouth, Indiana, in the Griggs presents Miss Ace Hardware. Cy on the day, a 2nd, 3rd, and a 5th. 3rd boat, the 7-boat final. This is our trailer boat, the red, white, and blue. Ram Trucking, American Dream. Matt Johnson drives out of Renton, Washington. 29 years of age. 2 fourths on the day, a 5th, and the provisional winner. 4th entrant in the final, local sponsor, the U12, Graham Trucking. Quentin Miller chauffeurs out of Mercer Island, Washington. 25 years of age. Quentin on the day, 2 first-place finishes, 1 DSQ. He is a threat here in the final. On board with Mickey Washburn, age 41, out of Pasco, Washington. In the number 21, Daryl Strong presents Payne West Insurance. Mickey today, a big heat win to get to the final, along with 2 fourth-place finishes. Boitano Homes, DJ Miller drives out of Mercer Island, Washington, 22 years of age. DJ's had a good day, 2 second-place finishes and 1 third. No doubt, 1 to watch in the final. And our last entrant, this is 1 to watch. Eddie Canfish, 17 years of age, out of Grand Island, New York, in the bucket list KISW Miss Rock, the 99.9. Eddie on the day, Brad, 3 second-place finishes. He's looking for a first-place finish. He's looking for a double in the series. He was our winner last out at the virtual Tri-Cities Washington race. Coming up on the 2-minute mark, hold on to your hat.
Yeah, and while you were talking about Eddie Canfouche there, he ran hard through the floating bridge turn at the north end of the race course and just kept right on turning when he got to the exit pin, went right across the race course, back over to the backstretch, and then backed off of it and went through the upper corner again. The exit buoy that he just went by is at the top end of the race course. Apparently, he didn't want to get in the traffic jam that is going on at the entrance pin to the lower corner. 4 race boats down there. Jeff Ayler, before we get too deep into this, I want to go back to something we said at the outset when we opened the show 2 hours ago. We have run 3 races this year. We've had 3 different winners, Eddie Canfouche, Quentin Miller, and Kelsey Best. All three of them are in this heat. Are we going to have our first repeat winner today, or do we get a new winner?
Brad, anything can happen. I'm looking forward to it as we're approaching the mark. Everyone appears to be legal, and we'll check it out. Canfoosh was there first. Was he legal? We'll wait for word. Mickey Washburn was over at the 1 minute mark. Other than that, everyone was clean. And Brad, it is tight for the fight for lanes up in turn 2. Traffic jam.
It was quite a traffic jam. I thought we were going to have Cy Bowen in lane number 1, but it did not work that way. He got leapfrogged, and that looks like, you might have a better view than me, it looks like that is DJ Miller that has found his way into lane number 1, and indeed it is. He's got Canfoosh's in 2. I believe that is Quentin Miller in 3, Kelsey in 4. Then it is the Turbinator coming up in lane number 5. On my watch, Jeff Ayler, we got 12 seconds to the start. Bring them down. Start our final heat.
Miller in 1, DJ Miller, then Canfoosh in 2, Bowen, coming up on the outside in the Turbinator. There is the start of the virtual Home Street Bank Cup at Seafair. We'll wait to see if there's any gun jumpers. Start is under review as they go into turn 1, and Best went over in the home street, a vicious accident. And on the inside, DJ Miller is your leader.
Wow.
Quentin Miller in 3rd, a quadruple decker, Brad.
There is your quadruple decker. Look at that run down the backstretch. An incredible run. 4 boats into the top end of the race course. On the inside, it's DJ Miller driving for Boitano Homes. Cy Bowen has jumped the gun. He is in 4th place in lane number 4. So the first 3 boats are running 1, 2, 3. And right now it is DJ Miller. And he's opened up about a half a rooster tail on Eddie Canfoosh. And then it is back to Quentin Miller in the 12, the Graham Trucking. But good racing. And remember, we go 5 times around, Jeff.
First time, 5 times around today, 5 laps. It's DJ Miller in front, Boitano Homes. Eddie Canfoosh trying in 2nd in the bucket list, KISW. Now, Brad, we're 1.5 in, 3.5 to go. And DJ Miller starting to gain some superiority in front.
He is. He's starting to open up a little bit of water, but he can guarantee himself, as can we, Eddie Canfoosh is not going to go away. He is going to keep that right side rear view mirror full of Tennessee Orange and KISW Miss Rock. But coming down to put 2 in the books, and you are right, DJ Miller is opening up a little bit of water, the key being just a little bit, but he is opening it up, Jeff, as they put 2 in the books.
2 in the books and 3 to go. Beautiful shot as they enter the south turn on the virtual Ted Jones race course. Boitano Homes, a local sponsor in the Northwest, looking to win this one on Lake Washington in Seattle. DJ Miller in front. Eddie Canfoosh not giving up. We go on board with him. He's flying the Tennessee Orange and Black in 2nd. Brad, we're halfway through it. Miller's in front. Can he hang on?
Carstar powered Miss Rock trying to power his way up out of 2nd place and into 1st, and it is tight up there at the top end of the race course. But DJ Miller, the young man who lives on Mercer Island, overlooking this portion of Lake Washington where the Ted Jones race course is located, would love to win here today. We heard him talk about it earlier, but he's still got work to do. 2 to go. Jeff, he's really moving.
Boy, Miller flying the Boitano Homes, keeping it tight to the buoys. Keeping Eddie Canfoosh on his outside wake in 2nd. Your battle is for 1st in the virtual Home Street Bank Cup at Seafair. 3.5 in, 1.5 to go. Miller looking to win with Mercer Island in the background.
Boy, and Fast Eddie, you saw him just fly in the 99.9. He's doing everything he can to squeeze another mile per hour or 2 out of that race boat. But right now, he is giving ground to our leader, DJ Miller, the spirit of Detroit Boitano Homes, young man from Mercer Island. Give him the white flag, Jeff.
4 complete, 1 to go. Miller extends the lead some here on the final time around. DJ Miller, the virtual owner, Dave Bartish. He did our heat draws earlier today. Mikey Ike, the dog, was involved, Brad. It could be a happy time in the Motor City of Detroit if DJ Miller can hang on. Half a lap to go to victory.
All right, we'll take him up the backstretch. He's got almost a full rooster tail. Just keep the boat on the water. He doesn't have any traffic that he's coming up on. Find a clean lane through the top end of the race course. He's done it. Here comes Fast Ed. He's going to make one more charge, but I think he's going to come up short, Jeff. Bring home our apparent winner.
Boy, Canfish slipped inside. Time running out. Checkered flag waving. Here's your winner of the virtual Home Street Bank Cup at Seafair, DJ Miller and Boitano Homes. Second place will go to Eddie Canfish in the Car Star powered KISW Mr. Rock Bucket List Racing. Third will go to Quentin Miller in the Graham Trucking. Inside Bowen, he has flown that Turbinator all day long. In that fourth position, Matt Johnson crosses physically in the fifth spot. Mickey Washburn in the sixth position. And Brad, what a final. Outstanding dueling early on, but boy, that lane one positioning for DJ Miller, it proved to be very, very valuable.
It really did, and we talked about Cy Bowen all day. He had shown an incredible amount of boat speed, but he found himself in lane number 4 at the start. I think he really didn't have much chance other than to push the start. He pushed it, and unfortunately he pushed it just a little bit too far and crossed the start-finish line early. But I think that was his best shot. But boy, oh boy, that run down the backstretch, Jeff Ayler, your famous quadruple decker, we had it going on there, that backstretch. That was a beauty.
I tell you what, I knew it would be wild and woolly entering the day, and it has been. And if you survive this one and come out on top, it's been a good day. And there's your winner coming back into the pit dock, DJ Miller, 22 years of age, out of Mercer Island. And Brad, you will have a winning driver interview here in just a moment. And 22 years of age, virtual E-League racing and H1 Unlimited. Young man, not surprised if maybe some emotion might come on board here in just a matter of moments.
I think it will too, and I want to speak a little bit to maybe some of our fans out there in the Detroit metropolitan area that are of a certain vintage, and that's a nice way of saying if you're old like me, maybe you remember boat racing back in the day, and there was always something special when a race boat based out of Detroit, Michigan came out to Seattle and won the Seattle Seafair event. This is a bit of a throwback to the Detroit-Seattle rivalry of the 50s and 60s. Many of our drivers today aren't aware of what all went on back in that time frame. But to me, Jeff, this is a big deal. A Detroit boat came out here and claimed the race. He did it fair and square. He drove a beauty. I think we've got him in here. DJ Miller, driver of the 7 Boitano Homes. Can you put this into words? You live on Mercer Island. You just won on the Ted Jones race course.
Yeah, in the Detroit boat too. The Detroit boat steals the Seattle race, but with a Seattle area driver, so I get the best of both worlds. Huge shout out to Dave Bardish and the whole Spirit of Detroit guys. This one is for them. This was tons of fun today. My whole strat today was just to run clean in the prelims, do good enough, and then in the final, I saw an opportunity and took it. I saw all those guys were up there parking early, and I just laid back and got the jump on them.
Well, don't forget the Dave Bardish's Detroit shop dog, Mike Ike. I'm sure he's woofing back there. He's a happy dog.
Oh, I hope so. And shout out to all of our sponsors. We got Boitano Homes on the boat. We got Staples sponsoring the series, and Atomic Screen Printing and Jesse Stitches, and Home Street Bank with the Home Street Bank Cup.
Doesn't get much.
Pretty good to win at Seattle at my hometown course.
Absolutely. And about, I don't know, halfway, well, you had 4 of you running up the backstretch on lap number 1. And my partner here, Jeff Ayler, got to make his quadruple decker call. But it was a beauty. And I know you had a lot of speed with you. But about lap number 2, I made the comment to Jeff. I said, DJ knows Fast Eddie Canfush is not going to let him have this easy. Are you aware he dove to the inside at the top end of the race course coming down to the finish line?
Yeah, my spotter was telling me that. I figured he was going to try something like that once I got out to about 3/4 of Rooster Tail lead. I mean, you always got to try what you got in the final. And Eddie is a great racer. Me and him have had a lot of fun times on this game. and it was good to beat him today, just head to head with no penalties or anything. It was a clean race.
That's awesome. And maybe it is the most awesome question I can ask you, but are you having fun? Are you having a good time doing this?
Oh yeah, this is awesome. It was really satisfying to get this win. I've had kind of a rough season in this league. Have had a lot of bad luck, but finally put it all together today. And above all else, I'd dedicate this win to Pat O'Day. I got to take that KYYX boat out for the memorial lap, and that was pretty awesome. That was a cool experience.
So you got the start today by doing that for legendary announcer, hydroplane owner, rock and roll Hall of Famer, Pat O'Day. And when the day comes to a close, you're standing atop the podium with the Home Street Bank Cup at Seafair. It doesn't get any better than that. I suppose we could do it and you could win it real, but this is the next best thing, and I think you guys put on a fabulous show today. Jeff Ayler, if you got a word for this young man, he's pretty excited.
Well, DJ, congratulations. You mentioned the Detroit-Seattle rivalry back in the 50s, and a guy named Muncie from Detroit came out to Seattle to drive the Thriftway, and even though this is a little bit different, it is a unique twist in this sport with that Detroit-Seattle rivalry. You're from Mercer Island. You drive for the virtual owners in Detroit, and it's no doubt unique. Congratulations.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, there's so much cool history in this sport, and I love it. And I'm just an early 20-something who plays video games, but I love hydroplane racing. And one great thing about this whole game is we have a whole community of predominantly younger people who love boat racing, and this is how they get involved with it. It's just racing with each other online. It's unimaginably fun.
Just a little sidebar to that there. You're talking Jeff Ayler about this young man from Mercer Island, Washington, jumping in a boat based in Detroit with the Seattle sponsor on it and the whole bit. When Bill Muncie did that in the Thriftway in 55, he resided on Mercer Island. Just thought I'd throw that out there.
Also,
no, I don't remember going to his grocery store. I'm going to draw the line in the sand right there. That'd go a little bit too far. But DJ, it's cool to hear, for a guy like me, to hear you of a younger generation like that talking about the history of the sport and understanding some of the impact of the history and being a student of it. I applaud you. I applaud you for your victory today and for what you're doing for our sport. We're going to keep this thing going, and it's through the efforts of people like yourself and Scott Przybylski, who
the biggest thanks goes to Scott above all else.
Yeah, because without him and this game, we're racing wooden boats down our gutters or something. So, congratulations, young man. How you going to go celebrate this one?
I'm going to go tell my mom.
That sounds
She'll
good
be
enough
excited.
to me. I'm sure she will. DJ, congratulations. You are the 2020 Home Street Bank Cup at Seafair champion. Nobody can take it away from you. Congratulations, my friend.
Yes, thank you, guys.
There it is, Jeff Ayler. That brings to the close a very, very good day of boat racing on Lake Washington, albeit virtual. I think once again, the H1 Unlimited E-League Racing Series presented by Staples has proven that this is something worth doing. It's a lot of fun. It's very competitive. And oh, by the way, we've run 4 races. We've had 4 different winners. Can't get much better than that.
Very competitive series, and as you mentioned, Brad, those 4 winners in 4 races, wouldn't be surprised for a 5th winner in 5 races, which will be the season finale for the E-League coming up in 2 weeks. It's 29th. Same time, same place, and going into it, Brad, Eddie Canfush on top in the National High Points race with 5,005 points. Quentin Miller in the second position with 41.29. Cy Bowen in third with 38.75. Kelsey Best in fourth with 37.37. And rounding out the top 5, our Seattle winner, DJ Miller with 36.60. So Eddie Canfush goes into that final race about a 870-point lead, and he's put himself in premier position to get the national point title this year in E-League racing for the gamers who are great drivers.
They are great drivers indeed. With that, Jeff Ayler, I'm going to make one more mention and thank you of our sponsors. Thanking the folks at Staples, the Angels Foster Care Community, Atomic Screen Printing, Jesse's Stitches, Woodshed Embroidery, Seafair, and the American Powerboat Association. It's been a great day of racing. I want to thank you, Jeff Ayler. I mentioned at the outset of the broadcast that my partner today is the incomparable Mr. Jeff Ayler. That is not said in jest. You are the best, my friend, and we didn't get to work real races together this summer, but we got to do these, and I know darn well we've had a good time. Thank you, my friend. What you articulate about racing is unbeatable by anybody else. It is an honor to work with you. Thank you, Mr. Jeff Ayler. I'd also like to thank our producers and engineers today, Jared and Tate Meyer. They double as the league commissioner and also as the referees. If you didn't like the call, well, that's where it came from. Referees and doing that job, it's always tough, but man, they do a terrific job pulling this together. And you have no idea behind the scenes what takes place to put this on behalf of the entire Rainey family. They have put me up in their home for the last 2 races. They are busy. They've got more going on in this home, but they open their doors to me and let me come down here. But beyond all of that, what they do for this H1 Unlimited E-League Racing Series and what they as a family, the entire family, do for H1 Unlimited is unbeatable, and the sport is so very, very fortunate to have them involved. Thank you to the entire Rainey family. As Jeff Ayler said, next up on the H1 Unlimited E-League Racing Series is the San Diego Bay Fair, and we will be coming to you live from San Diego on August the 29th, at least virtually we will, for the San Diego Bay Fair Regatta. It'll be race number 5. It'll be our final race of the season. I know I'm going to be there. So will Jeff Ayler. We hope you will be too. But until then, stay safe. Good night, everybody.